Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on in to the Dynastyland football stream. It is Monday morning for me, but it is Sunday night for you. And we're excited to jump into a real rookie draft. We do not have many of these left. In fact, if I'm not mistaken, this might be the last week of them. However,
I think it probably is.
we have a lot of community rookie drafts that are happening, so I guess in theory we could stream those for them as well if we wanted to after this. But what's up, guys? Welcome in. Appreciate y'all being here with us. Pablo's in the building. Henry, Sports Guy is here. Mike is here. Andrew, Matthew, and Bree are in the building. Scribbles is in the building. How you feeling, Sammy? How was the weekend for you?
Hey man, great weekend. Yeah, really good. Spent some time with some family. Had a great time. So pumped for this Sunday night for this real rookie draft.
Yes, sir. I think we can talk about the Thunder for a second. I'm sure people want to hear what I have to say. It's just sadness. Yeah, that's all it is. It's just sadness. America is rooting for a Frenchman who is not even from planet Earth. So I'm finding social media really funny right now. Okay, because this man is not human. Wembanyama is not human. He is, I know it's like a joke, like, oh, he's an alien. No, he's actually not of the human race. You guys, he's actually a product of AI, and we're letting him slowly take over the universe. You think it's just basketball? You think this man is just interested in winning basketball?
Oh no, he's coming for everything, dude.
I mean, you guys have no idea what the future holds. But congratulations to the Spurs, and to Knicks fans. I wish you good luck. Genuinely, that's not anything other than I would love for the Knicks to win, but I wish you absolutely nothing but good luck, because that man it feels like he's collecting stones and is absolutely inevitable. Okay,
it's his league, dude. It very much is just his league now.
It genuinely feels like it is his league. I actually don't know how you stop that guy. I really don't. Dan says the start of the next Space Jam movie. I'll say that.
Dude,
okay, look,
Wemby is the captain of the Monstars.
I agree. And before we go, we're gonna jump into this real rookie draft, but I just want to go down right now. The 1st of June, 2026 for me. I want to go on record saying that I believe Wembanyama will go down as the greatest basketball player of all time. I believe he will surpass Michael Jordan. I believe he will surpass LeBron James.
Wow.
I think he is inevitable. It's when I am 80 years old, sitting on my porch, I'm not going to tell people like, hey, come here, grandson. Let me tell you about this Michael Jordan. Like, obviously, no, you like Michael? Let me tell you about Wembanyama, okay? I don't see how you stop the guy. The way to stop Wembanyama is to put a handicap on him somehow. You can't be 7'6", have an 8'3" wingspan, cover an entire half of the NBA floor, and like, what are you supposed to do? I mean, the only way to save basketball at this point is to put a handicap. No longer is 3 seconds in the paint. For Wemby, it's 2. Like, at some point, the genetic pool is not strong enough. All right, this is Homelander stuff. All right, like, I don't know what you're supposed to do. The league is done for.
Yeah, man, it's crazy. He defies every law of physics that you think exists. The thing, you know what? I think longevity might be a thing with him, though, that I think people talk about for a long time. I just don't know how you hold up at that size.
Yeah, I mean, we have never seen this before, so it's fair. I mean? Like, we don't know what that will look like long term, but
like, I feel like people. I feel like there's a lot of stories of, like, obviously he's not like, tallest person ever, but like a lot of, like, people that tall end up having a lot of health issues just because your body isn't really like the human body is not designed to be that tall. It's like an outlier thing. So like, it'll be interesting to see, because like, obviously LeBron playing into his 40s, like, I just cannot see a world in which Wemby plays into his 40s, and I think that'll be
by the way, your mic is a little low, just so you know. Want to make sure that people
I'm a little low today.
Anyway, enough basketball talk. I will drown myself in my sorrows off stream, so no one else has to watch on stream. But I would love to eat crow. Guys, you don't understand. I'm a Knicks fan, but I also am going to take a second, and even as a Thunder fan, and say, I'm going to appreciate greatness, because I don't want to wait until Wemby's retired to not hate the guy. Like, no, I respect him. He's going to be one of the best players of all time in the sport. I'm just excited to watch good basketball. But I have to be honest with you guys. I would be shocked if the Spurs don't win in 5. I would be shocked. If you're watching the Eastern and the Western Conference, it's 2 different games being played. It is 2 completely different games being played. I'm sorry, Knicks fans. I want you to win. I want to be wrong so badly. All right? It would bring me no greater joy than to watch the Spurs lose. But at the same time, they're inevitable. I mean, Stephon Castle, go beyond Wembanyama. Stephon Castle is one of the best on-ball defensive guards that I've ever seen. I've never seen someone slow Shea down like that. I know he's facing like 3 bodies at a time, but I want the Knicks to win, but I just don't see how they win. I don't see how they win.
It should be entertaining at the minimum.
Yeah.
So.
We've got a real rookie draft on tap for you guys. Appreciate y'all being here with us. We have a giveaway today. I'm not going to be able to give away a team playbook, but I will give away 3 trade question vouchers here on the stream, so we'll have 3 winners. On today's stream, we will be raffling off the final spots for the Triton League, which drafts tomorrow night. That's right, tomorrow night we will be doing a real Dynasty startup draft, and you have a chance to be a part of it, okay? And the giveaway for today is the word Triton. All you have to do to enter is simply like the stream, type the word Triton, and you'll be entered to win the giveaway. Now, I want to let you guys know that in this league in particular, we currently have just 3 spots remaining. So that will mean one of 2 things, okay? Either what will happen is we have, I think, 42, 45 people currently in this drawing, right? So what will happen is when the rookie draft ends today, we will raffle off the remaining spots, and it'll randomly choose 3 land members who have signed up. Or if you want to get into this league and get fast-tracked into the league, then you can become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. All new members with the code LAND get a guaranteed spot in a LAND league. So if you want to be in the one that's drafting tomorrow night, you want to guarantee your spot in tomorrow night's draft, then you can do so by simply becoming a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. That's obviously going to be the best bang for your buck to support me over here. You're going to get into a LAND league. You're also going to get a team playbook, customized review of your team, the vouchers, the Discord, all of the exclusives. So definitely, if you do sign up on stream, please let me know. That way I can look at the back end and fast track you in. But 3 spots, just 3 spots remaining there. All right, we are going to do a real Dynasty rookie draft. I apologize to the Lima League. I am late today. A lot of chaos happening, but we got something releasing tomorrow for you guys on the Flock site that I am so excited about. It's probably the coolest thing that we've ever done at Dynastyland. I'm so excited for you guys to see that, and it will make sense why we've put so much work in on the back end. Sammy, you got to see a little preview of it. What did you think?
I did. I think everybody should be very, very excited about this. It's very, very, very cool.
All right, we've got a real Dynasty rookie draft in the Lima League. We are going to be using the land method, okay? So to everybody who's in this league, listen up here for a second. Land live action negotiation draft. All right, the L stands for live. All right, it's a live draft. It's not a slow draft. We're doing it in real time. Only changes, it'll be 3 minutes through the first 2 rounds, and it'll be 1.5 minutes through rounds 3 and 4. The A stands for action, which means that everybody in this draft gets 1 trade window. You have to be on the clock to call your trade window, but when you call your trade window, that's when the negotiations begin, okay? That's when everybody in the league is, vying for your attention, trying to send you a trade to get that asset that you're putting up for grabs. That is, of course, as long as you don't have a late first-round pick, which just seems to be like no one really cares about it this year. But, all right, appreciate y'all being here. Sammy, why don't you go ahead and introduce code Cinnamon as I put us on the clock.
Yes, sir. So, code Cinnamon, essentially, what it is just we don't want the draft to be influenced in any way, shape, or form by what Zach or myself says or what is going on in the chat. So, if you see a falling value, you can't believe this guy is still on the board, keep it to yourself. Once he does come off the board, we will be more than happy to discuss said player.
Yep. Well put. Well put. Do we have any Knicks fans in the chat? Do we have any Spurs fans in the chat? I'd be curious to hear if we have any fans of these. Mary says Knicks. P. Santoro says Knicks. That mean you're a Knicks fan? Henry says, sadly, I'm a Cavs fan. That was a tough way to go out.
Jeremiah Love off the board, shocker, at the 101 to Whoa, it's Kev in. Whoa, what? I thought it was Whoa, it's Kev. I didn't, or is it like different? I recognize Whoa, it's Kev.
Whoa, it's Kev traded his pick initially and then traded back for it. That's what's going on there.
Wow, that's some three chess. But I recognize the name, but I thought it was Whoa, it's Kev, not Whoa, it's Kevin.
It has always actually been Whoa, it's Kev. Yeah, he must have changed it. It must have been a new branding update or something. But you're 100% right.
He's changing his image.
Yep. Okay. Carnell Tate off the board. Sammy, I wanted to give people a small little quality of life update on landleagues.com. I recently added a feature, which I'll show you guys here, in which you can actually compare ADP in real drafts. So, for example, real Dynasty rookie drafts. Well, I'll show you a comparison in a second. I thought there was an interesting one to bring to you guys, but in order to not commit cinnamon, let's say I wanted to compare like Malik Neighbors and his ADP. Let's compare it to like CeeDee Lamb right now. So you can kind of see where these guys are being drafted on average. So Malik Neighbors was picked earlier in 83% of drafts this year in real startup drafts from land.com, or landleagues.com. Now we have that for a rookie as well, but I guess I can showcase it with Jeremiah Love and Carnell Tate now that they're both off the board. No surprise here. Jeremiah Love was picked earlier in 100% of drafts.
This is interesting. Carnell Tate has never fallen to 4.
Never fallen to 4. Yeah. No.
Never fallen to 4.
I'll show you a more interesting comparison in a second, but we got to wait for a couple players to be drafted first.
Minute on the clock.
I just want to let everybody in this league know. I know a lot of people are after 27 firsts. I'm willing to sell my 27 first. I'm looking for a really good running back. So if anybody out there is a seller and they've got running backs to sell in the Lima League, hit me up. I'm willing to buy a running back for my 27 first.
All right.
So in the chat, by the way, Sammy, I asked people who wins the NBA Finals.
Yeah, 25 votes, 84% going with the Spurs currently.
Yeah, I think that feels right to me. And I love an underdog. I would love to see the Knicks win, but that feels right.
Yeah.
I know the Knicks beat the Spurs in the NBA Cup. So
it's like a one-game thing, though, right?
Yeah. One-game thing. That's right.
Yeah. So
as Carnell Tate and Jordan Tyson off the board here.
Jordan Tyson at the 103.
Let's see.
I recognize some names in here.
Yeah.
We got Billy, Killer K, Naz. We got my boy Dave at the 112, won the league. Shout out.
Now that I have the whole league's attention, I'm going to put it in the chat. Does anybody want my 27 first? I probably should have put my... showed you guys my team. I am at the 107. I only have the 211 today. We sold our first, I believe, in an effort to trade for. Guess who? Guess who, Sammy? Guess who I tried to trade for?
Like, is this like an on-brand player? Is
yes.
that why? Jameson Williams? No.
No. It's a quarterback. Let's say that.
Oh. Quarterback that you tried to trade for with your 2026 first last season.
No, this offseason.
Oh, this offseason you traded it.
Yeah, it was one piece of a package. Yes, Jaden Daniels. That's right. So we have Jaden Daniels on our team. We have a Burrow Daniels 1-2,
That's
Young
fire.
on the bench. We've got Monty, Saquon, Olave, Puka, Egbuka, Adunze, Higgins, Hawkinson at tight end. On the bench, Hubbard, Rashad, and Mike Evans, Jake Tonjes. We also made a trade with this trade just hit my inbox randomly, and I didn't counter. I thought it was pretty fair value, so I went ahead and accepted it. I sent away Jake Ferguson for a 27-second and the 211. So the only reason I even have a pick in today's draft is because of Killer K. So shout out to Killer K helping me out there.
I mean, Zach, honestly, you could use a running back, but this is the if maybe was a running back room. You just got all of these guys could.
Yeah, exactly.
Aaron Jones, you got the whole Vikings backfield, Rashad White.
I've got enough to kind of band-aid it a little bit. Okay, so the comparison I wanted to show you guys was Mendoza versus Tate, because it actually is a lot closer than a lot of people realize. So let's have a look at it. This is where I think the tool starts to become really interesting. So you can see here that in 55% of drafts, Carnell Tate was drafted ahead of Mendoza. But it's been, while Mendoza has a wider range and Tate's been more consistently 2 or 3, I think it's fairly interesting to see how often they're kind of back and forth between each other.
Yeah, you know, it's really strange. Mendoza has never gone 3rd.
Yeah.
That's so weird. He's gone 2nd, 4th, 5th, and 6th. He's never gone 3rd.
No. I don't even know why that would be, honestly. Like, I don't know the...
It doesn't make any sense. Maybe it's because, no, I don't know why it would be. Because if you prefer him, if somebody's preferring him at the 102, nobody's preferred him at the 103 over the wide receivers. That's interesting.
We did have a trade just go down.
6, though. Oh, nice. Yeah, Billy into the 7th slot there.
This is a big one. Let me pull this up. Will Sleeper let me pull this up? Okay. So Billy is getting Sam Darnold, Shaheed, looks like Casey Concepcion in the 203, and he's sending away Kyler Murray, a 27 first and a 28 second.
Wow.
This seems like a lot of conviction in KC.
It definitely is. That's what I was gonna say. Look, I'm a big Kyler Murray fan. You won't find a bigger Kyler Murray fan than me. So I love this for Manich.
Yeah,
and I think that, piling up on these 27 first, which look, we don't know how the class is going to turn out, obviously. Yeah. But we do kind of know that these picks are just having an insane amount of value right now.
100%. You're 100% right.
So
I have a video coming up about that. By the way, I only have one nut. I did see your sign up. I'm not saying that, by the way. That's someone's username, just to be clear. I do have more than one nut, but this username.
How many more?
At least double. At least double that.
At least double. Okay.
But to this user, I only have one nut. You know what? This is going to be a problem. I can just imagine now that you're in the community, and I'm probably going to review your team.
We'll push. Do you think it's true? It must be true, right? This is
Lance Armstrong, right?
Yep.
I did see your sign up on the Flock Fantasy website, but I haven't seen you submit on landleagues.com. Have you submitted in the latest drawing, my friend? I want to make sure we get you marked off, because that would mean if I haven't marked you off, there's only 2 spots left. But let me know if you've submitted over there. Sean, this is I developed the Land League site myself. Yeah, this was like a fun project I did back in, was it January or February? And I've kind of just been adding to the site ever since. So no developer necessarily, just kind of me making it all come together, but with the help of Replit. But Public Leagues is also an awesome part of the site. If you guys want to get into more leagues than we currently offer, there's always people who are entering orphans that are available here, brand new leagues that are available, talking about the buy-in, where they're kind of hosting it at, what part of America, or maybe they'll say they're international. how to contact them on Discord. If you have an orphan that you need filled, you can also go to that part of the site. So, but let's get back to this rookie draft. Nothing crazy here so far. Concepcion, Simpson, Cooper, and Sadiq all off the board.
I assume no tight end premium then?
No tight end premium in this one. Yeah, gave every league a chance to vote tight end premium, but... Ah, okay, Bullrog is right. And we did just get a trade window called by P. Santoro, so we will get our first trade window of the day.
Right. This is a very attractive pick. So I'm sure the inbox will be flooded with trade offers.
Let's see. But we do have our first trade window of the day, ladies and gentlemen. So if you are interested in trading for, what is it, the 111, hit up P. Santoro. Maybe you have one of these late firsts or early seconds and you got a preference, maybe send him an offer. You never know. You never know what he's looking to get back in return. You might as well dance, all right? Can't dance without, holding your hand out, I guess. Technically you could dance, but not you couldn't tango, right?
It does take two to tango, I think is what they say.
Yeah, exactly. That might be a better expression. Maybe we go with that one.
Not stick your hand out if you want to dance.
Yeah, exactly.
It does roll off the tongue nicely, but I'm not sure if it'll catch on as well.
Oh my gosh. What's up, Young Liquid? He says, how do I get in the draft tomorrow? Very simple, my friend. If you go to landleagues.com, follow steps 1, 2, 3, and once you finish step 2, you can just let me know, and I'll fast track you. But have to be a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. In fact, I will go ahead and make it the pinned comment for you guys.
Heck yeah.
But I will use this time to send offers to people. Bullrog let me know that he said, hey, by the way, you traded your first and second for Barkley and Mike Evans in this league. So I didn't trade for Jaden Daniels. That's my bad. But I did make this trade earlier in the offseason where I sent away my first, which ended up being the 107. And a second.
You knew at the time it was the 107, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I did because it was March 12th.
Yeah.
So I sent the 107. I don't know where that 26 second is, and a fourth for Evans and Barkley. Wanted to go out there and just really contend. I mean, imagine how bad this running back room looked without Barkley. So.
Yeah, I mean, in this class, and that was pre-draft, so you were kind of not buying the
narrative that picks would improve value.
Exactly, which the 106 did. The 106 obviously got a huge bump, but the 107 did not. So
no, not at all.
You threaded that needle pretty well there. I definitely have Barkley ranked ahead of the 107. So I think that worked out. That worked out pretty darn nicely for you. But also, I think it was a worthwhile swing for our guy Bullrog to take.
Yeah, not a crazy trade either way. Hey. I believe it was the 210 in hindsight. I could be wrong.
Okay.
Jenner, are you a seller or a buyer right now, my friend? I'm looking at your team and just wanting to figure out where you are. If you can let me know in the chat. Do we have any other
Jenner,
sellers
what
here?
He means that Zach thinks your team sucks, and he just wants to know if you also think that.
No, I just wanted to see who I can send trade offers to, okay? I'm trying to, do a little business. What's weird, Sammy, is like everyone talks about 27 firsts like they are the next greatest thing the world has ever seen. Yet for some reason in my leagues, when I offer my 27 firsts, nobody wants them. Like I'm seeing everybody gets trades done for 27 firsts, and it's like you can get such an incredible haul back. I don't know why. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, why do people not want my picks?
Is it because they think you're really good at this for some reason? And
I'm not, though.
It's going to be bad.
Go watch the Flock League.
Well, yeah.
All right? Go watch the Flock League. I don't know what I'm doing.
I mean, look, your pick could be the 107 next year, and even with Zach having a good team.
That's right.
So I would encourage anybody, if you're not trading for Zach's first because you're like, oh, it's still 111.
Jenner says his team is selling. Minch says he's selling all. Okay, let me send both Jenner and Minch, Minich, sorry, some offers here. Okay. I think this makes so much sense. Let's see what you think. I'll send one to Jenner. I'll send one to Minich.
This trade window's just coming to its end
so
here.
Santoro, we got to put you back on the clock. Oof. I already have... Honestly, Minich, I have too much Bucky Irving shares already. I cannot add another one.
That's an interesting move, though.
I would send you a pick, but that's tough because I want running back. You don't really have an attractive running back.
By the way, our friend, I only have one nut, says that he has submitted his drawing, so should be able to...
All right. Let me check that on the back end here.
Solidify his spot there.
Yes, sir. So you are locked in, my friend, which means, guys, just to let y'all know, we currently have just 2 spots remaining in tomorrow's Triton League. That's just the name of the league. It's a startup Dynasty League draft, hosted by our friend Joel, Commissioner Joel. And
shout out Joel.
If you would like to enter this league, 2 spots remaining. If there are however many spots remaining at the end of this rookie draft, we'll raffle them off to all of our existing members. But if you want to get a guaranteed spot in, become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flock member. You'll get a guaranteed spot on tonight's stream, and you'll be drafting with us tomorrow.
Dave says my mic is killing him. Could you specify what you mean by that, Dave? Because Zach, here's what happened. I turned it up last week when I was on your stream.
Yeah.
And then I recorded a video, and every single plosive sound I made, like all of my B's and my P's, were like going crazy.
So
like big air.
Can we get some feedback on Sammy's mic? Is it too high, too low?
Dave says it sounds like I'm talking into a
I think
pillow.
He's just talking shit about your mic. He's like, you need a better mic. Do you have your mic plugged in, or is it the earpods?
No, it's definitely my... Apparently it's fine. Chase says it sounds fine. BM says mic is fine. LOL. Let me make sure.
He's like, hey man.
He's
holding you to a higher standard now. All right. He's like, you're no longer a rookie. Okay. What's up, Chief? He says, any playbooks tonight? If not, I'll wait for another day. Yes, sir. Absolutely. I got you. We've already got a queue, but you can absolutely submit one, my friend. And obviously, with all of the options that we've got, if you want to skip the queue, that's tier 2. Otherwise, I'll get to you no matter what. Tier 3 doubles your playbooks, but... You know what? I actually know Dave. We've actually been on a call together before. He's an awesome guy. A really genuine person. And I bet he was honestly just trying to be helpful. So let's not go after Dave in the chat, all right?
No, we don't need to go for it. I am seeing something strange going on here. I don't understand what's happening. I'm not seeing my...
I was wondering if your mic was actually plugged in, like if you were speaking through it or not.
Well, now I don't know, because it's not... my input, it's not showing... Normally on Discord, it'll show what the name of the mic, but it's not popping up.
Okay.
What is going... Okay, give me a second here.
That's okay. Take your time. Take your time. Ann says, when you're good at Dynasty and actually care, that's what happens, Zach. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Check. Okay, so yeah, that doesn't make... I think it's fine, because on OBS, it's there. Interesting. It sounds like I'm on the other side of the room. Scribbles goes, screw you, Dave.
No, Dave's a good dude. Dave's a good dude. Been a supporter a long time as well.
What is going on here? Okay, could that possibly sound better? Did that change anything for you, Zach?
Did that change anything, guys? I don't know.
Zach is way clearer. Okay, so I think something is going on because obviously normally I sound fine. I wonder. Voice. Microphone. Speaker. Microphone. Oh my gosh.
What happened?
Okay, wait.
Tell us.
Okay, am I back?
Dude, that sounds so much better.
Oh my gosh, dude.
You didn't. So you totally did not have your mic.
I totally was not. It was totally not coming through my mic.
Wow.
That's stuff. I can't believe that Dave was the only one who noticed, and it took 40 minutes, or it took like half an hour.
That sounds infinitely better. By the way, infinitely better.
That is so funny. Wow. Okay. Thank you. Thank everybody. Yeah, everybody does owe Dave. Everybody owes Dave an apology. Free Dave.
Yeah, come on, free my boy Dave. All right. Can we get Dave was right in the chat? My gosh, my boy's out here just taking a beating. No, I'm kidding. Crude Dizzer asked if this was pre-recorded, and the answer is yes. Yes, dude, it is pre-recorded.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we almost banned. To think we almost banned Dave. Wow. Oh God. Okay, no, I don't need microphone training. It was just the wrong input. And how am I supposed to tell? Dave, it's you guys need listening training is what we need, because there's no way for me to know that my mic is off. I can only hear myself in the room that I'm in. It took you guys 25 minutes to realize there's anything wrong.
We have real reports here that Sammy was at a local gym benching 350, by the way.
Yeah, BMI Kara goes to the same gym as me. I mean, yeah, man, we told you I'm 7 feet tall, 340 lean.
Yeah, that just sounds
350. Yeah,
better.
I was just that must have been I take a rest day once a week. Where I tone it down to 350.
Yeah, right. So you were like, let's drop it down to 350.
Yeah, exactly.
I get that.
Exactly.
Can I also just say something that I'm creating this character, and I just would love for you guys to stay tuned to my X account tomorrow. Okay. So if you're not followed and don't have your noties on X, I believe that this will be a character that I will reintroduce every single year from here on out, but obviously it depends if people think it's funny or not. So let's just say stay tuned to the X. I'm not going to say anymore. What's up, Fantasy Football Garage? Welcome in.
People are saying that my mic is still messed up, that it's adding a weird Canadian accent. I don't think there's a setting to turn that off, unfortunately.
Yeah. You could try, though. You could try. You could abandon your entire family, all the people that you know, go somewhere else secluded, maybe put yourself in a box for an entire month, and only listen to American speaking.
Yeah, I already do that.
I mean, that's true, actually. But you're not in a box, see? That's the problem.
I need to be in a box. I need to not hear any Canadians speak. For
exactly.
That's what I need.
Go to Boston. All right. Get that Boston accent. Imagine how bad it would be to hear a Boston and a Canadian accent mixed together. I feel like that would be a really bad combo.
I feel like the Canadians like little words though. Like you can't if none of those words come out, you can't even tell. Like you would not be able to tell that I'm Canadian just from listening to me talk. Like you would not.
No. By the way, guys, I just wanted to. I just got one of the craziest trade offers I've ever gotten. And it's not bad. It's not a bad trade offer. I am just gonna publicly try and help Minich out here. I can't accept this trade offer simply because there's not a chance I can add all these players. But this is good value. I know it's a 27-second,
wild.
but if this offer is available from Minich, it looks like, for any 27-second. I just have 1 or 2 bench spots left, so there's no way I'm about to take 18 draft picks here. But that's actually not bad value at all if anybody's interested in that type of deal. We did just get a trade window. It was from Billy. So Billy is calling his trade window. So he now has 5 minutes on the clock to negotiate any trades. Appreciate y'all being here with us. We are going to do a giveaway tonight for some trade question vouchers. The code word is Triton. All you have to do to enter is simply like the stream and then type the word Triton into the chat. You will be entered. And obviously, we're doing that because on tomorrow night's stream, we'll be live streaming this real draft that you guys can be part of. We've got 2 spots remaining there. As Antonio Williams was the pick at the 202.
Chalky top 11 here, it seems. So yeah, we nothing crazy going on at all.
Someone asked me to break out the Australian accent. I'll be honest with you guys. I can't legally do that on stream today because the only way I can kind of get into character is to say a very specific word that Australians use on a very daily basis. It starts with the word mad, and the last word's the one that I can't use. And
they put mad in front.
They put mad in front. Okay. And by the way, you might be offended
it means
if someone told you that,
right?
But it actually is the biggest compliment you could possibly receive. If an Australian calls you a mad, it means you're the coolest person they've ever met. So, yeah.
So I'm surprised you know what it sounds like then.
It is funny though, like a lot of Americans when they move to Australia or they come to Australia, they think Australians hate them because they're not fully aware of how sarcastic Australian culture is. And I think that I experienced that coming to Austin, meeting the guys for the first time. This was even before I met you. But when I met like the Domain guys, FSC, Mason, all of them in person in Austin, this was back in like 2024. I had to clarify because like, hey, in case anybody's wondering, I actually don't hate any of you guys. This is just the way that we talk to each other in Australia. Very sarcastic, very like putting you down, and we all put each other down, but people know that it's on purpose. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, 100%. I remember you guys talking about that last year as well. That whole idea.
Okay. Not Mad Dingo, not Mad Scribbles, not Mad Shrimp on the Bobby. By the way, there's not a single Australian that says shrimp on the Bobby. We can call it a Bobby, by the way.
Really? You know, I thought that was the most like popular. I thought that was like all they said.
Matthew's onto something here. Matthew's onto something. I'll just leave it at that.
Somebody asked if it was lad. If lad was the word that you were refusing to say.
Yeah, it was mad lad. That was it for sure. Anyway. Someone asked what headphones I'm using. That's a good question.
Flirting with you.
Yeah, these are Shure. Let me find the box. Give me 1 second.
Oh, to match the mic. T Gotsy in the chat. I'm about to ban you, bro. Keep that up. You're getting banned. I promise. We're not doing this. I'm just kidding.
Okay, so these are called. Actually, it's Sennheiser. I was wrong. It's not Shure.
Sennheiser.
So Sennheiser IE 200, and you'll notice at the bottom here it says new. That's because I have 3 of these headphones. Anytime they break, these have been my headphones for like the past 5 years, maybe 6, 7 years. Just a little one. But I just really like them. I'm not going to say they have a lot of longevity because clearly I've had to buy that many of them, but I just like the way they feel.
John wants to know what type of chair you sit in.
You know what? These companies are going to have to start paying me something. All right. All right.
You're giving all this, cannot be giving all this free promo.
This is a Secret Labs chair. Yeah. That's what it is.
Jonah goes, Zach, what kind of room do you live in?
Well, for now, a regular house, but who knows? They might sell at any moment. Adam says, thanks. They look super comfy. I have headphones in my ears all day for my job. Yeah. I think they're really comfortable. I think they're like one step beyond. You know, you can get like custom in-ears where, you know, you can like have them molded and stuff. Feels like this is like the step below that, or maybe 2 steps below, but still pretty good. How long did Billy have on his trade window? Because unfortunately the trade window stopped. We'll give him 1 more minute here.
Oh gosh. What? All these questions. What type of blinker fluid do you use?
Actually, great question about the couch. This leather couch right here. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Originally, $3,000. I found it on Facebook Marketplace. I paid $100. Okay. So.
Oh my gosh. The things that must have been done. I mean, it must have been pretty used, eh?
The things that couch must have seen. Yeah, it's pretty used. But I mean, leather lasts quite a while.
Yeah. That's really funny though.
I'm just gonna respond to a trade offer here. 1 second, and we're gonna put Billy back on the clock. I don't know what's going on with the trade window there.
What God says, Sammy? What country of Canada are you in? I answer that. There's only one. Scribbles wants to know what kind of toilet you own. One that where it flushes in the other direction.
Actually, I've been to a lot of Asian countries, and I say that because they don't really use toilet paper for the most part. I mean, they do, but has anyone ever used a bidet?
Of course.
You say of course as if everyone's even seen a bidet. I bet if I pulled the chat,
I guess,
less than half the people have even seen one.
I think once you have, it's like how did I ever not do this?
Yeah. Fair. But I will say, I am not afraid to go on record, and I am not doing an Asian accent, by the way. All right, that's crazy. That's not happening. All right, you guys are trying to cancel me on stream.
I'm dying at Ann's comment. Isn't that the spray butt?
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
I will say that. Okay, the only reason I even know this is because one time a friend let me use one of these. They're called dude wipes. All right. And again, why am I advertising all these companies for free? The first time you wipe your butt with a wipe rather than a piece of toilet paper, you start to realize how much better you are than everyone else around you. Like, why would I use paper? Are you kidding me? It's a weird moment. I have to admit, at first it's weird, okay? But the first time you wipe your butt without toilet paper, you just start to realize, I actually am better than everyone else I know. It's almost like the first time you ever, not even sit in business class, but maybe in like the priority section, or you get an exit seat row on a flight. It will change the way you view life. So if you've never used wipes before, and we all have, because remember, at one point we were all little babies and we were forced to use wipes beyond our consent. However, now you can consensually use the wipes. And I'll just tell you, it is a game changer, all right? It is a game changer. The health of my butt has never been higher. And I'm just saying, it'll change your life. It'll change your life. Someone said
that
not
one
wiping
fly is the way to go?
Not wiping is the new meta. Oh God.
Oh my gosh.
John says bidets are horrible. Yeah, they gotta be cleaned. That's true. Ricky says when I'm traveling, I use dude wipes after using toilet paper to make sure
How
I'm
is
clean.
this what we're talking about right now? There's a rookie draft going on. Billy is on the clock, and we're talking about
funny
dude wipes.
Is you guys have no idea. I was like this close to doing a small little contract with dude wipes last year, specifically for in-season content for my starts of the week. And I was gonna add one. Well, I was gonna call it my shit play of the week, presented by Dude
That's
Wipes.
awesome.
I was so close. It didn't work out, but I thought that would be hilarious. And now I feel like it's confirmed. That would have been a hilarious segment.
That would have been awesome. Ans is right. The 26 draft class is so bad that we're talking about, dude. Like genuinely, this I promise you, this would not have happened last year.
No, not at all.
We would not. Yeah, and Dave goes, my mic talk is looking really good right about now.
Oh, that's funny. Okay, but let's offer some real analysis here in the second round.
We like to have fun out here.
Antonio Williams at the 202. We love to see Antonio Williams. He's got a great chance to step in and have an instant role in Washington. Billy, who's made some moves, obviously has his Q set up here. And Surratt, that's a Q pick, I think. Surratt comes off the board. We have Jeremy Bernard, which every draft I've been in where Billy has a chance to draft Jeremy Bernard, he has. Also, fun little note here, he is also a Steelers fan. All right.
Yes, sir.
We also have Chris Bell coming off the board at the 204. Everybody's favorite. I actually am using the comparison tool in an upcoming video to compare Chris Bell to another player, which I won't talk about, but in honor of Code Cinnamon. But great pick at the 204 because typically Chris Bell's going higher than that in most of these drafts. I mean, I guess on average he is the 203. Is that right? The 14th player off the board in 11 drafts. But we've seen him go in the first, the 201, multiple times there. So not bad value to get him at the 204. Yeah. I think that's pretty decent. Sonny says, I just joined the stream, and the first convo is about butts and wiping. Welcome.
We do what we can.
Welcome to the great outdoors. Billy, I've got a trade offer to send you here.
Ans wants to know my thoughts on Cam Ward. I hope Cam Ward doesn't need any dude wipes this year. That's what I hope.
Honestly.
Emmett Johnson at the 2-7, Carson Beck at the 2-8. Zach, we talked about this a little bit last week, I think, at the Carson Beck. We had a little Carson Beck conversation, but it's becoming more and more likely every passing day that Carson Beck plays a lot of football this year.
Oh, yeah.
That he plays a lot of football this year.
100%. No, I mean, I brought him in my... Each year I do like that instant production video from the rookie class. And he was in it. And I told people, look, I'm not telling you he's going to be good. But I am telling you, he will see the field this year, no doubt about it.
He is probably going to play, yeah. Like
in this video right here. I think there's a couple quarterbacks that I would feel that way about. Bullrog is calling his trade window here. I wish you the best of luck, Bullrog, as he has now put the 210 on the block, and I'm sure he will be flooded with offers.
He's not going to be able to open his phone because the sleeper notifications are going to break it. Tigati says that Derek Carr had a video breakdown of Cam Ward, calling him a star in the making. Wow.
I didn't even know Derek Carr made content.
Derek Carr's, he's got a podcast.
Oh, okay. Wait, if he has a podcast, how is he breaking down content? Now, I can't believe this. It looks like we actually got a trade done.
Oh, heck yeah, dude.
Okay, so, you know what? Shout out to Bullrog, man. I always tell people, take advantage of your trade windows if you got them, you know. I got to be honest with you, called it. I did not expect anyone to care. But we did get a trade done. And it's Minich who's trying to... This is a win-win, I think, for both sides. This makes a ton of sense.
Yeah.
He cannot roster all these players. And for Bullrog, yeah. I guess he can. Damn it. I was about to draft Drew Allar, and I was going to try and trade him to Billy. Okay.
By the way, I got to give... Zach, while you think about your pick here, I got to give a massive shout-out to Rick in the chat. Rick I've never met anybody who is as consistently on brand as Rick. Rick is a Raiders fan, loves the Raiders. I read the chat every stream. Rick has not said a single thing. And you know why? Because we haven't brought up the Raiders. The second I say Derek Carr, he comes to the chat, love me some Derek Carr. Incredible stuff.
Okay, I think I'm going to accept this trade here. Billy's on the clock.
Billy's on the clock, and there's no Steeler to take.
No Steeler to take. I get his second next year.
Well, there is one. I don't know if he's going to do it, though.
That's true. I get his second next year and the 401 this year. I send away the 211 and my third next year.
Sure. Let's see who he takes. I'm interested to see who he thinks is worth his second round pick next year.
Zachariah Branch off the board. We have to pause here.
All right.
I believe this is Billy's comp pick.
Is it? Billy is the owner of the comp pick, which is the comp pick is decided, by the way, for anybody who is unaware, by the winner of the consolation bracket. So the 6 teams that don't make the playoffs, they go into the consolation bracket. They play to win the toilet bowl, essentially, and whoever wins that gets the comp pick, which is just a selection off the board in between the end of the second round and the start of the third round. So Billy's going to select somebody here. Zach will remove them from the player pool, and then we'll continue the draft.
So the player that's being added is Cade Klubnik. So Cade Klubnik is taken.
I wanted to talk about him. I wanted to ask you about him because you mentioned some other quarterbacks that could be seeing some playing time this year. It's not like it's not crazy to think. Obviously, I'm in the best ball streets right now. You know this.
Yeah.
And there's a bunch of talk about Geno Smith, in these underdog contests where not all that matters is the playoff weeks, but the playoff weeks are so important. That's when all the money is won.
Yeah.
Right? Is Geno Smith going to be there for you?
100%. I don't know the answer because if he's anywhere near what he was last year, then I don't see how he's starting for them. And I have personally many times come on here and said I think Cade Klubnik is undervalued in these drafts because we're constantly seeing Drew Aller and Carson Beck in the second round, and yet nobody cares for Cade Klubnik. I mean, this is another great way to use this comparison tool here from Real Draft ADP. Let's compare him and Carson Beck. I believe Carson Beck is going to play this year. I also believe there is like a 60 to 70% chance Cade Klubnik plays this year. And in 100% of drafts, Beck is drafted higher. That's not surprising, but it's just surprising how drastically different their ADP is. Almost 2 rounds difference in ADP, which is shocking to me.
Yeah, I think Geno is better than what he put on tape last year.
I agree.
If this Jets team is he doesn't have a big contract there at all.
No.
If they're
he has to be really good for them to say, well, we don't need to see what any of these other guys have.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Especially if they're going into an offseason where they need to decide on the future of their franchise.
Yeah.
They have the 3 first-round picks. The 2027 quarterback class should be really good. They need to at least see what Cade Klubnik has as a guy that they just drafted. So by the end of the year, I don't, it won't even be it might not even be like a benching in terms of poor play. It might just be let's see what Cade has.
100%. I agree. And the odds are that he's not going to be a good player, but in Superflex leagues, it's worth a shot, I think.
Guys, Brady Cook started games last year. It's way more quarterbacks start every year than we think. And Scribbles made a good point saying Cade becomes even more in play if Aaron Glenn gets fired midseason, which I think if I had to I in my stream, not yesterday, but last week, somebody asked me who I thought was most likely to get fired after Aaron Glenn first.
Yeah.
Who would I pick outside of Aaron Glenn to be the first coach fired? And it was really hard. And I just kept on coming back to it's so clearly Aaron Glenn is the pick.
Right.
He's such a lame duck.
Yeah, let me have a think about that.
Yeah, literally it's
because Miami just got a new coach.
All the bad teams just got new coaches.
Yeah.
Basically all of them.
I could see if Washington falls apart again.
That was one I talked about.
I don't want him to lose his job, but I could see that. Who else? I don't see Minnesota. If Minnesota moved on from KOC, that would be a massive mistake.
That would be nuts.
If any NFC North head coach was moved on from, it would be a huge mistake.
I agree, and I don't think any of that would happen. It's Dan Campbell 100% is not getting fired. Ben Johnson, same thing. It would have to be like Matt LaFleur, but I don't think that would be like an in-season thing. My pick, Zach, I would put it like having to pick somebody was Todd Bowles.
Yep, that's a great one.
Because like I don't love the Zach Robinson hire. I think it's like very fine.
I would say
like,
Bowles and Canales. Canales hasn't been bad at all. But if they take some massive step backwards,
the Panthers just like seem like they're so irrelevant. It's like,
yeah,
it would have to be a disaster for him to get fired. Bowles has just been there for so long now.
Yeah.
I also Scribbles. Thank you. Scribbles has a good memory here. I said Shane Steichen.
Okay, sure.
I'm really like.
I could see that.
I'm down on the Colts. I don't think Daniel Jones is gonna be good off the Achilles, and people were talking about his job coming out of this past season because of how terrible, like how awful the collapse was.
Yeah.
The Anthony Richardson debacle, like he's been there a while now.
Yeah.
So
you only get so many chances. You can only make so many excuses. You know.
Exactly.
And it doesn't mean that your excuses aren't right. Whereas we have a trade window here from Dave. So Dave's going to call his trade window here. If you want to trade for the 306, hit him up.
Love the Katron Allen value, by the way.
Yeah, some fun picks here. Stribling at the 301, I think is always a smash. Where is he typically? Let me double check. I think he's starting to get a little more respect in our leagues.
That's probably his range, I think. 206 on average, actually. That's low for him. He went at that. Yeah, he's been a first rounder twice.
Which is crazy. I thought that was too high, but anything like late second onwards, I think is a good pick. Bell, Hurst, Katron. Yeah, Katron, that seems lower than normal for him on average to 211, and he's just been rising too.
I'm very, very much open to the idea that he's just better than Bill.
Yeah,
like that reality just does exist in my brain.
I don't think it's an insane take, but I don't think if he's better than Bill, then he gives you nothing as a pass catcher. So it's almost like,
sure.
That's why I find it hard. Late round guy, obviously in this class, go for your guy, right? But I don't see him becoming like a Joe Mixon or even like a David Montgomery in his days in Chicago.
But also Bill isn't giving you anything as a receiver.
No, I agree. But I'm just saying that's the answer can be they don't have their future running back. That's what I would say.
100%. I just mean like from the standpoint of like if we're looking at anybody who I'm taking in the third round here, I'm just hoping for something to happen in year one,
definitely.
Honestly, in terms of the running backs. So like, and like from a best ball perspective as well, like Katron Allen is like a 16th, 17th round pick.
I do personally think that Bill is a better player than Katron. I honestly believe that, but it wouldn't surprise me what you're saying is true, where Katron kind of takes over that early down role. No matter what, Rachaad White will be heavily involved. Like
100%,
there's nothing
100%.
either of these running backs can do that makes Rachaad White an afterthought. Like he will be 100% heavily involved, in my opinion.
If this offense is really, really good, which it obviously can be, I think that like early downs plus goal line is like going to be so valuable, right? And
yeah, no, totally. Because I remember the Brian Robinson year, so 100%.
Yeah, absolutely right.
We had another trade go down here. It looks like Dave is getting the 308 and the 408 to move back 2 spots from the 306, and Reb is going up to get Chris Brazel, who I got to be honest with you, I'm a Jalen Coker guy, but I think Brazel could be the number 2, and I certainly would bet on him over Leggett at this point.
100%.
So
I despise the despise may be harsh. I really don't like the prospect profile at all.
Yeah.
And like, I mean, how attractive is Bryce Young's number 2, even if he is good?
Dave, I might send you something here. I might send you something here. I'm just slightly intrigued. Let me see. What could I send you?
Oscar Delp off at the 307. Ted Hurst is getting some good coach speak stuff coming out, saying that he's going to play X for them.
Yep.
That's going to be an interesting one. Like, I really like Egbuka. Jalen McMillan kind of seems like he's like in limbo here a little bit. It seems like you don't. Jalen McMillan shouldn't be playing X, even though that's kind of what he's done at the NFL level.
You know what? This is a weird offer, Dave, but I don't know. Let's see. This might be too weird. I just didn't know how to go from the 401 to the 308. It's kind of a weird place to try and
I mean, in this class,
out.
I feel like it shouldn't cost anything. It's like, yeah, we can switch, you know?
Yeah, but like, okay, so for
6
example,
spots.
I'm not willing to like add a 4th next year to do that. That's why, and that's like the almost the lowest thing that you can offer. So I don't even know how to
it's like
structure
Fab
it.
or like a roster clogger that he likes or something.
That's what makes it tough. Yeah, I don't really know what to give you. Like, for example, I'm not going to give Coker for this pick. Okay, Minich, I'll send you something.
Jonathan Taylor at the 308. Wow. It's a good pick.
Minich, look. This is an interesting offer. Again, I don't want that many picks, though. I'm going to send you something really unique. Minich is going to call his trade window here. I'm going to send you something very unique. And I don't even know what you'll think about it. I don't... Okay, let's just see. Let's just see. Okay, well, I guess I'm just curious to know what you would think about this, Minich. It does basically free your team up right now of another roster spot. I don't know. I gotta be honest with you guys. Like, Bucky Irving is a player where I'm getting more and more worried about, like, being willing to send a first for him.
Yeah. I don't see a reason to right now, honestly. Like, because I think that even if he is good, 27 firsts have so much steam. I don't know how much more he would cost than that. It's like, unless he's scoring, like, 18 points per game, you know. But...
All right. Minich, let me try and figure something else out then, because I can't pay too much to come up here. Okay. Reb, I'll send you something, Reb. I'll tell you guys the trade offer I just sent, because again, like, I'm finding it really hard to know how to value some of these like how to do this trade up. Like, I want to go from the 401 to the 310. That's not worth even sending a 4th in my mind.
No, probably not. But I mean, if you value, if you want to do it, I don't see how Reb could ask for. I mean, if Reb doesn't care who he gets, then I guess Fab. But
all right, let's see what you think about this offer, Reb. This is a very unique offer.
What do you mean by that?
I'll explain what I mean by this in a second. Because I'm not I'm not just trying to trade for the 310. I want the 310, but nothing on my team, like, there's nothing small enough on my team to make that make sense for me to trade up. So I'm having to add second players in and try and figure out trades that make sense that also help me as well.
No, I feel you.
So, for example, we'll see what Reb thinks about this offer I just sent him. But I'll tell you what I sent Minich, which again, I said, I don't really know what to think about this. I was going to send him, we were going to swap the 401 and the 309. Okay, so barely anything, basically nothing. And I was going to give him 3 second-round picks for Bucky Irving. So that's why I say it's like a unique, weird offer. I don't think many people are seeing offers like that.
Yeah.
I understand why he would decline it, but
seconds are so weird to value it in a sense, because like I just don't ever, like, I see like a second straight up for like a veteran player, right? Like Mike Evans, for example, right? Or like I don't know, Chuba Hubbard.
Right.
So I'm like, okay, that makes perfect sense to send a second. But a second never entices me enough to make like a downgrade out of position.
Yeah.
Like, even if I have the players ranked back to back, it's like, no, I'd just rather have the guy I like more than the guy below with the second. Same thing with like in a startup, trading down, getting a second on. It's like I don't even care about that. And then 3 seconds for Bucky, it's like,
he's not worth a first. You just said you wouldn't be willing to send a first for him.
Yeah. So he's not worth the first, but I don't even know.
Exactly. See,
3 seconds.
I think you're now realizing how hard it is for me.
3 seconds is like, I just would rather have the asset I feel more confident in. But then the first, it's like, I can't quite get there right now. So it'd have to be like, I need like a player, I think. I don't know if it's just the uncertainty of the pick.
It's so hard, isn't it?
It's hard.
Okay, really hard. I'm on the clock here, and this is awesome because I've got a video coming out about this guy. I talked about him in today's video. I have him ranked higher than the majority of consensus. I'm going to take Caleb Douglas here. I seem to be the only one drafting him in our drafts, or either picking him up off the waiver wire. I am not against Chris Bell at all. I think he's a fantastic player, a really fun prospect. But I think way too many people are treating Caleb Douglas like a complete afterthought. I have him ranked, I think, 26th in my rankings. And this was the ultimate comparison that I really wanted to show on the site, was just to show how insane the gap is between these two guys. We're talking about the 14th overall player versus the 37th. And he's only being drafted in our drafts because I keep talking about him. I have seen him undrafted many, many, many times.
Mm-hmm. Multiple drafts on the screen here. He went undrafted.
So I just feel like he is
he's
deserving of a. We're talking about dart throws in this class.
Yeah.
You know,
he's probably bad. He probably sucks. But he was a 3rd round pick, and what if he doesn't? You know.
Yep.
It's kind of everybody in this range. Like he wasn't a good prospect. Should not have been a 3rd round pick. But maybe the Dolphins know something that we don't.
Yeah. I mean, Let God asked a good question. He said, how many seconds is equal to a first? Thing is, you could send me 10 seconds and I would rather have a first-round pick. But
genuinely, like, and that's honestly like the complete... If you're talking about forecasting a year in advance, like right now, talking about 2027 picks, I don't even care if it's like the juggernaut of all juggernauts, and I know this pick is the 112. I would rather have...
I might disagree there.
Okay, well, you never know it's the 112.
Yeah.
The most you can know is that it's like the 109, right? Like this team is 100% getting a bye week, right? That's like the most you can know. And in that case, like okay, I would, in a lot of cases, I'd rather have... It depends on the class, of course.
Yeah.
But I just don't see how those seconds are going to be more valuable to me in what I'm trying to do than the first.
It's so hard because there's a lot of players that are not worth a first. but people are not willing to sell them for a second. I tried to trade for DeAndre Swift in this league, for example, right? Like, these are these names: DeAndre Swifts of the world, Jalen Warren. We just talked about Bucky Irving. Like, clearly players that people are not willing to send a first round pick for, but how do you value them? What do you get back in return then? Because like Swift, for example, for me, I wouldn't send more than a second for him. I don't think he's worth more than that.
You would send 2 seconds for Swift?
No.
Okay, I would send 2 seconds for Swift.
Okay. I don't think he's worth 2 seconds. In fact, I think Kyle Mononga is probably going to get more and more involved, not less involved. So
I think that I like Kyle Mononga. I think both can be good. I just think this offense is so friggin' juiced that you can have both guys producing. Like, Swift has never not been a top 24 running back. Actually, here, quick little plug. Good segue here. For me myself. Tomorrow, my first redraft video of the year is coming out.
Love it.
And there might be a Chicago Bears running back involved in there.
Okay.
But yeah, like, I think that both guys could be good. And
this is Sammy Stack's fantasy, right?
This is Sammy Stack's fantasy. So yeah, first redraft video of the year out tomorrow on Sammy Stack's fantasy. And then all of the Dynasty content going forward, you will only see that on Sammy Stack's Dynasty, which is a new channel that I've created. And the first video uploaded on there will be next Friday.
Make sure you guys are tuned in there.
Yes, sir. But yeah, like, I think I also like Jalen Warren as a target.
Yep.
Like, you mentioned him briefly. But yeah, Bucky's, I think, maybe
I would rather
roster,
send a third for Rico than a second for Jalen Warren, though.
Is somebody going to give you Rico for a third?
Is someone going to give you a second for Rico?
Well, that's the thing. I think I would send a late second.
See,
for
we
Rico,
keep going on the edge
back help. Yeah, Rico's probably in that front. I would, like, on a solid contender, I'd send my second for Rico, knowing it was going to be late. I think if I needed running back help, I'd probably try and get Jalen Warren first, though.
I think Rico's one of those players where you would dream selling for a second, but I don't think anyone's sending you a second.
Look, I like Jalen Warren more. I think if I had to rank him somewhere, I'd rank him around a late second in 27.
Okay, yeah. So then we're sending a fourth for Caleb Johnson.
Brother, Caleb Johnson is worth like 25 fab at this point.
How many fifths is Caleb Johnson worth?
How many fifths? Yeah, how many 2029 fab dollars is Caleb Johnson worth?
I actually think he's still a fun stash. I don't think he has any work, but I think he's a fun stash.
It's so weird to me, man. Like, yeah, I don't understand.
I want the 30 for 30 on Caleb Johnson's rookie year.
I don't understand. We'll see this year. If really nothing happens, if truly he doesn't get anything this coming year, then I'm just going to be so confused. But like, I could see how it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Rico and Warren are both, professional running backs.
We're still alive, right? I'm guessing Sleeper is just glitching out here because it keeps telling me I need to reconnect, but we're still live, right? Like, it's not my internet.
Everything I'm seeing.
Okay.
Yeah, no, everything's fine. Everything's fine. Eli Heidenreich is there as well now, too.
Yes, Eli Heidenreich, who is almost guaranteed to be a special teamer, but
yeah,
be fun. I guess it'll be fun. I don't know.
And it's sort of like I think Aaron Rodgers. I wouldn't say Aaron Rodgers has nothing to do with like Caleb Johnson not getting any work and
right. And now he's back again, and yeah,
he just needs guys that he trusts. And it makes me like a tiny bit worried about Jeremy in year one. Like,
I think that's fair.
Like Mike McCarthy plays a ton of 11 personnel, and the slot player has been featured a lot in his offenses historically, and that should be Jeremy. But it's just like a weird one where like I wouldn't be surprised if they signed like some old bum to play slot for them because Rodgers doesn't trust him.
Right. Master Mater here has an interesting point, which I've kind of thought of before. I haven't verbalized it, but he says, I don't think the value of Bucky is the problem. It's this class is devaluing seconds. in my opinion, it's time to gather 27 seconds while 26 values are on people's mind. I actually don't think that's false, because if we all believe the 27 class is going to be as good as it actually is, like if it actually pans out the way people are thinking, then imagine how good 2025 was. Like Loveland in the second, Jackson Dart in the second, Tyler Warren in some leagues, in non-tight and premium, right?
Cam Scadaboo in the middle of the
you
second.
had first round receivers. Yeah, Cam Scadaboo. Like Burden. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I actually do think I agree with this if the class lives up to the hype.
Yeah, the thing is, like, I also think a late second is a lot different than a mid second. Like, I think that holding your late second into the off season on a contender is something that, like, I almost never want to do. Like,
yeah,
I almost 100% of the time I think that pick is better used upgrading your lineup during the season than it is holding out hoping, because even in a really good class, Zach, that late second last year could have been Trey Harris, right? It could have been, whoever else was going in that range who was bad, right? You obviously have hits all the time, but the vast majority of these late seconds are not good players.
For sure.
And so
for sure.
Early is a completely other thing, because you can get guys falling out of the first.
Yeah, but here's the thing:
you have, like,
even if I think I definitely agree with what you're saying there, but in a normal class, a second is viewed much higher. People don't even care about the hit rates historically, which says they're not really valuable, but it's a more powerful asset any year I've ever done a rookie draft than it is this year. And that could be playing on people's minds a little bit. Even if your second, is late, in a better class, it has more power. Like, for example, last year, what were we sending for DeAndre Swift? What, the 210? Right? This year, if you send the 201, you get laughed out of the building. So I do think there is more power to a second than people are realizing, even if you don't make the pick.
I think I get what Master Nader's saying here. Kind of the fact that because everybody is currently viewing the 201 as a terrible pick, 27 seconds are naturally getting a little devalued.
Yeah.
Because right now the sentiment around second round picks is that they suck. Whereas that might not be the case next year. Yeah.
But
yeah, no,
exactly.
I really like the take. I definitely really like the take, and I think that that's definitely actionable as well. It doesn't mean that, like, pile up. It doesn't mean that 27 seconds are really, really good.
No.
It just means that they might be undervalued at the moment.
Yes. This draft is about to end. There's two things I want to let you guys know. Firstly, we'll go into trade questions, and then after the trade questions, we will do a giveaway today. Okay, and we're going to give away 3 trade question vouchers. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is simply like the stream. That's step 1. And step 2 is to type the code word today, which is Triton, Triton. And the reason that's today's code word is because we're going to be doing the drawing later on as well for the Triton League that drafts tomorrow night. We'll have a real startup draft tomorrow night. There are 2 spots remaining in this league, which I will raffle off if no one takes the last 2 spots. I'll raffle them off to all the remaining entrants for said league. I do see someone who just tried to enter. Their username is Young Liquid. Let me see if they have a membership. Is Young Liquid in the YouTube chat? Let me know if you're here with me, my friend.
Is Young Liquid in the room with us currently?
Because you did sign up. And, guys, you got to be honest, though, when you're filling out I can check everything that you're saying, just so you guys know. But some people might just fill it out. They're not actually looking at it. I would encourage you to actually look at what it's asking you when you're entering the drawing, because it asks if you are a promo code LAND and you Mother Flocker member on flockfantasy.com. If you enter yes and you're not, I'm gonna know. So, Young Liquid, I would love to give you one of these last spots remaining, but you're not actually an annual Mother Flocker member with the code LAND right now, my friend. You just created a free account over there, so you're not actually currently supporting. These leagues are only for our supporters, but No pressure at all to do so. But yeah, I can check if you guys are saying if you're being truthful or not. All right. Okay, Lima League here. Do I have to drop anybody? No. I love to see that. I might drop Efton Chisholm at this point though, just to drop him. Yeah.
Rip.
You're gone. You're gone, kid. And then we will.
I didn't even need to do it either. Wow.
Didn't even need to do it. We just said
this guy's a hater.
You're not good enough. So we're gonna put him on our taxi. Caleb Douglas on our taxi. And it's funny because like I'm not even that interested in anyone on the waiver wire, but I'm sure I'll make a couple claims. But this is a squad we're rolling with in this league. Daniels, Saquon, David Montgomery, Puka, Olave, Hawkinson, Higgins, Egbuka, Evans, Burrow. We've got Roma Dunze, Hubbard, White, Mason, Bryce Young. Okay. So let's get to these trade questions. Your final opportunity to enter today's giveaway, gang. Trade question number 1 from CC0624. And if you want to submit a trade question, it's the same link where you can get your team reviewed on that link tree. It's the first little pop up there that says ask a question on the Flock site. So I'll leave that link up for y'all. Okay. Would you rather have Tyler Warren or 2 late firsts in a 1 quarterback start 9? No tight end premium.
I think based on value, I would 100% want the picks. I think also the fact that this isn't a tight end premium, even if I'm like a contender and I'm trying to, win and Tyler Warren is like my only good tight end, I think I can put together a reasonable streamable tight end room.
Yep.
Without him. So I think the value is 100%.
I agree.
On the
I love Tyler
sides.
Warren, but I would find it hard to see how a tight end in a non-tight end premium league becomes more valuable than 2 firsts, even if they're late. So I would tend to agree with you there. Young Liquid, I see you, brother, but again, guys, when you go to the site, it gives you the steps, right? Step 1 is become a land annual Mother Flocker member, right? So I can absolutely guarantee you one of these last spots, Young Liquid, but you got to be a annual Mother Flocker member with code LAND, all right? That is step 1, and you're currently not, my dude. No pressure, obviously, to sign up, but it is a requirement. And that is our only trade question of the day. Wow. We normally have a bunch of trade questions, and we got a lot of team reviews, but...
Look at that.
Okay, so let's go ahead and do this giveaway. And then maybe we'll do the drawing for the Triton League after a couple team reviews to see if anybody wants to sign up to take those last couple spots. But in today's giveaway, we have 41 entrants. And this is to win a couple trade question vouchers. So we're going to give away 3 trade question vouchers to 3 different people. And the first winner of today's giveaway is going to be Ben Fried. He and his brother are always hanging out on the stream. You love to see it. Our second winner of the stream is going to be, it's very close there, Kevin Rain. I might be saying that wrong. Rain. And our last winner of the day is going to be KC K Cubilis. I'm probably saying that wrong. I'm probably saying that wrong. If you guys want to claim your vouchers, feel free to DM me on Discord. There's my username. I need you to give me a screenshot of your YouTube account. And I also need you to tell me your Flock Fantasy username. And if you don't have one yet, you can create one for free. Just use the promo code LAND at sign up. That way I will I'll be able to find you on the back end there.
Woohoo.
Young Liquid said, did I miss something? All right. I'll say it one more time.
That was before Zach. That was before your spiel that you just did, by the way.
Oh, okay. Yeah, have any questions, Young Liquid? Let me know if you got any questions. Want to make sure I answer all your questions, but we have answered, I think, thoroughly there. Okay, we're gonna do a couple team reviews here, and then we'll get into the the Triton League raffle drawing as well. All right, so let me just double check if we have any pro passes waiting or priority passes. We've got a pro pass from Spider Mike. And I already gave him access, or I already gave him an additional review on the back end. He was messaging me, so he's already got his pro pass locked in, ready to go. But just so you guys know, if you are going to get your team reviewed, there are 3 different options on stream. By default, it's live. The second option is to skip the queue, and the third option is to double your playbooks for an additional fee, basically a 2-for-1, if you will. Okay, let's go to Spider Mike here. What's up, Spider Mike? Let me know if you're in the building with us. Did we change the way we show? Oh, I guess he didn't submit any context. I was going to say, I didn't know if it was hiding somewhere. Superflex start 10 with no tight end premium. Sammy.
Goff with their heads is the team name.
I like it.
Spider Mike is with us in the chat, by the way.
Love to see it. He is currently ranked 3rd in this league. You can go ahead and read the squad if you like.
Yeah, so it's a Superflex start 10. So we're starting Josh Allen and Jared Goff, Kenneth Walker and Breece Hall at running back, Puka Nacua, Amon-Ra St. Brown at wide receiver, Rondé Gadsden is our tight end, and then we need 3 more, and that's going to be Kyron Williams, Jamison Williams, and Devonta Smith. We have solid QB3 and Sam Darnold, Travis Hunter on the bench. Not a ton of depth. We don't have our own first, but we have somebody else's.
Okay.
Which, I mean, on this team, I'm not worried about that. This is definitely a strong contender.
Yeah.
So
I like
having a first is nice. The team is very good. The team is very, very good. You got a few hammers with Josh Allen and Puka Nacua. I like it.
I like it too. Okay, so your untouchables on this team, we're not going to move as a contender. You know, Josh Allen, Puka Nacua, those guys are not being moved, right? Unless we want to upgrade our depth. But players I would love to hold include Travis Hunter, Carson Beck. Now, the last 2 holds are because you're a contender. Kenneth Gainwell is a great handcuff. And Greg Dulcich, I think, is a pretty good streamable option. And considering you only have Gadsden and Kincaid, I don't think it's crazy to suggest there could be weeks where you're actually starting Greg Dulcich. He might be the number 1 target in Miami. We have no idea what Miami looks like. Nobody knows, okay, outside of Achane getting a bunch of work. Players that you could drop if you wanted to. Names like Kanante Mumfield, Damian Martinez, Gardner Minshew, Burks, or Cyrus Allen. All those guys are droppable if you wanted to. I would honestly rather roster Jalen Tolbert than some of these names. He has a case to be made for getting some real opportunity in Miami. I'd rather roster Marlon Klein than like Minshew or like a Cyrus Allen, you know. So it's not the most valuable waiver wire, but it's not completely dead. And we are definitely a Windows open roster here. No first of our own in 2027. So we have got to go out there and try and compete. Now, overall team grade, Sam, it's a good team, right? Like that lineup, like you mentioned, Allen, Goff, Walker, Breece, Puka, Amon-Ra, someone at tight end, and then we're flexing, you know, the J-Mo, Devonta, Kyron. You were right. Like the depth is really bad. Like bench pieces are really bad, but
yeah,
I feel pretty comfortable giving this like a B. Feels B flat, B minus, somewhere in that range.
Okay, yeah, I was thinking B flat, B plus. I think the starting lineup is good enough. Like I feel like it's like 2 depth pieces away from being an A.
Yeah,
you know, like.
Well, I'm just accounting that we don't have a lot of capital to work with. We have our first.
Sure.
And I'm accounting that the tight end position is not really solidified,
yeah.
But
yeah,
I think that's fair. So I think this is a team where, let's see where that 27 first is currently. It's from Bandit. Who is Bandit? Bandit is 5th. And I mean, having Burrow, Kyler, Hampton, Monty, McBride probably makes that a competitive team. I don't think this team wins a championship, but I think they have a good chance to make the playoffs.
He has our first too, which is fun.
You guys swapped them.
They swapped firsts.
How willing are you to send this first to go out and compete right now? I reckon we could add another running back for depth, but we don't have
I would
to.
rather, like, on a team like this,
Yep.
I think what I want to do, my starting lineup is good enough where I can go into the season with it.
Yeah.
Right? And then once I sort of find out a few weeks in what this team truly is, then I use the first to target the right area. Because what if I go into the season and, like, I send a first for a tight end right now, and then 2 of the running backs get hurt.
Sure. That's fair.
Then it's like now I have nothing to work with at all. So I don't mind exploring some options. Me personally, I'm sort of more of the opinion that I would rather stay flexible by keeping the pick at the moment.
So do you want to roll into the season with that tight end room and that depth?
Yeah, I don't know what the other it would have to be. Like, I would try and get a tier down off of somebody, but I don't know who that would be.
No. I was thinking maybe we could try and use Darnold. And if we end up needing a quarterback 3, we can address that in season. But like the equivalent of a Sam Darnold at running back or receiver is kind of what I was thinking there.
Not tight end.
No, because I was thinking just streaming the position for now.
Okay. Yeah.
Because you're not going to turn Darnold into like a better, more solidified tight end, I don't think, than streaming what you already have. Like, could you turn Darnold into, I don't know, maybe, I don't even think you could turn him into Kyle Pitts. You know what I mean?
I think that's probably the range.
Right.
But I agree with you that I don't know how likely that is. It's funny, actually, on the site, Zach, the expert average has Pitts and Darnold back to back.
Okay. Would you make that
so
trade?
It's definitely possible. I personally definitely would.
Okay.
I would do that straight up.
But the options are quite limited, I would say. Like, outside of Pitts, I mean, you're not getting Laporta. You're not getting Sadiq, I don't think.
I don't think Laporta is absolutely crazy.
Okay.
But...
Well, I would be willing to do either of those trades if they're possible then.
People like quarterbacks, man.
That's true.
And especially in a non-tight end premium, too.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I would be sending this. I'd be trying to get Josh Jacobs on a team like this. Like, that's where my mind went. Or like a DeAndre Swift. You know, Jacobs is really gettable right now. So that's why I brought him up. But
yeah, you wouldn't be worried about anything going on with that?
I just think
about
like
an elevator video dropping or something.
If a video drops, obviously we'll have to reconsider things. But at the same time, like Alvin Kamara was on video, right? And
yeah, that's true.
It took a long time to figure out. It didn't happen that year, and you know,
yeah.
So I think this team that needs to compete, it would interest me a lot. But Jacobs,
is Derrick Henry too
sure.
old?
Yeah, you can't. You know, this guy can't. He can't be like, oh, that guy's too old. No, you got to win right now without your pick, right?
Yeah, sure.
At wide receiver, the options are bigger, but the impact is smaller. Like, for example, could you get a DJ Moore? I don't know if you could. I don't know if you could.
I was gonna say, like, how crazy is it to try and get Jalen Waddle, even if you have to add something.
Okay, maybe you go Jalen Waddle if you can send like a second.
We don't have a second, do we?
In 28, get back a third or something.
Okay.
I think the range that I could see happening is like Alec Pierce, Jordan Addison.
I like Jordan Addison.
Omar Cooper, maybe.
What about like a Terry?
Terry, sure. Yeah, like that. That seems like more the range to me. But overall I agree with Sammy in the sense of like you've kind of the way your assets are currently aligned, you've kind of already established where this team is this year, and I think making too many moves might not be the right move right now. I would say in season, won't write this down, but just so you know, Spider Mike, like you want to get. So for example, if this was last year, we were in season and people were like, "Oh, is Javonte Williams really the guy?" that's a guy that you'd be wanting to go out and trade for. Like people were buying him for second rounders. Who could that be this year? Is Rico Dowdle taking over in Pittsburgh? I'm just trying to think off the top of my head like other names, but
one thing I want to note here quickly, Devonta Smith is somebody who I'm thinking that I will view as a good tear down option once AJ Brown gets traded, because I do think he'll see a spike in value, especially as we go towards the season.
Yeah.
The AJ Brown trade, Zach, could be tomorrow.
And
tomorrow is June 1st.
Never happened.
Tomorrow's June 1st. So it could never happen as well, obviously. But I think that Devonta Smith is somebody that could see a spike and might try and capitalize.
I don't want this to happen, right? I don't want AJ Brown to stay in Philadelphia. But it would be mildly amusing just because everybody's assumed that he's already out.
Dude, all of the freaking, like, even the insiders, like, all of the people who, like, it's their job to talk about this sport for a living are saying, like, oh, yeah, he's a Patriot.
Right.
Like, it's a foregone conclusion.
Okay. So, Spider Mike, you're in the chat. Let us know if you have any final questions here. But you've really kind of established yourself. The last thing I would say, Sammy, is Travis Hunter is a really interesting piece. As someone who should be contending, I think selling him... Here's the hard part. Like, selling Travis Hunter right now is probably not the right thing to do. I don't think his value is really, like, worth moving at the moment.
I agree.
But I don't know if he can help you compete either. So that's the hard part with him.
It's true. I think the problem, like I don't think it's crazy, but like I don't want to do it now because like I think that even then I value the how I feel about the asset more about the direction of the asset.
Well, would you move like Travis Hunter for? I'm just thinking like what would you actually move him for? Like Bashul Tootin.
I just don't want it. That one I could do because I think that there is a lot of upside on both sides of that.
There's not many players that I would do this for though.
But Schultz I think does make sense. But beyond that, people just his upside is just so insanely higher than where he's currently valued. And it's where I value him too. Like it's where I have him ranked. It's just like it's difficult.
He says if I move Darnold for one of those guys, do I then consolidate some other guys or just no, because we're doing this so you have a better or well-rounded team, right?
Like right now on a bye week, you're starting like you need Kenny Gainwell or you need Diggs wherever he signs.
Yeah.
So you need.
We're trying to give you a little more cushion
you can throw in your lineup.
Yeah. Because I go into a season expecting at least two of my starters to not be available for the majority of the year, just because that's the way injuries typically work, right? I mean, typically you're like, I've never been in a year where like everybody's been healthy. Even the Flock League when I was winning,
no, it doesn't.
Chris Godwin went down, right? So it's just you have to expect it, you have to plan for it. But. Yeah, man. Appreciate you big time. Like I said, thanks for getting the Pro Pass. You've already got that second voucher in your inbox whenever you'd like to submit that one. But it's a good team. It's a very good team. I think if AJ Brown actually is moved on, obviously I will be moving Devonta Smith up. And I think you'll have an even better chance to kind of win it here. Any final thoughts for him? And then in season, like we said, if he needs to use that first, he can, to go all in.
Yeah, exactly. And then you have the first, which is exactly what I was saying at the beginning. Like I would rather, once we get in season, if you want to upgrade Kyron or if you want to upgrade Devonta, right? Those kind of moves, or you want to get a really good tight end. Those kind of moves will be available to you with that first round pick. Yeah. I'm actually, Zach, I'm going to hop off early tonight.
Totally okay.
I'll be back tomorrow, but just winding it down for the weekend here.
Yeah, absolutely. By the way, we will be streaming tomorrow
question as well
on Triton.
Yes, sir.
And if anybody who's in that league wants Sammy and I to draft for you, let us know. We'd be happy to do so. We have had a lot of fun doing it in the past.
We've done it have had two satisfied customers.
Yes.
So we would love that to make that 3 for 3 if anybody is interested. It's a lot of fun. I think it makes it a little more interactive on the stream as well. No pressure, of course, but it does make the stream quite fun with Zach and I going over our strategy as well.
If you haven't subscribed to Sammy's channel yet, make sure you go subscribe there. He's also got the Dynasty channel as well. Sammy Stacks Dynasty,
sir.
but you'll be releasing your first piece of content tomorrow, right?
First redraft video ever.
Yeah.
First redraft video I've ever made in my short career is coming out tomorrow. So keep an eye out for that. Should be good. Yeah. Appreciate y'all for hanging out. Thanks for having me on as always, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow.
Of course, we'll see you tomorrow, Sammy. Doses. Okay, cool. So let's jump to this trade question here from Matthew. He says, I sense a trade question. Basically, I want to mitigate the riskier players for surefire players. So sending away Henderson, Rice to get back Chase Brown and CeeDee Lamb. Look, I mean, personally, I don't think I'm comfortable with this move because I'm trying to sell CeeDee Lamb right now. I'm trying to tear down from him. And I think an ideal tear down from CeeDee Lamb is like a Rice and a first. So I understand where you're coming from. It is a start 10. That's a deeper format. I would have Henderson and Chase Brown in the same tier. And then I would ideally be looking to move from CeeDee to like a Rice and a first. In the same breath, it is fair value. So if you wanted to consolidate, I don't mind you doing that. But typically, I'd be looking for the opposite side of this deal here. At the same time, I can recognize that these guys are going to be safer for this year. Chase Brown's tough, though. How long is Chase Brown actually safe? We don't really know the answer to that. But again, from a value perspective, it is fair across the board, Matthew. Okay, let me just double check. I think we should probably do this Triton League. We've got another person just signed up, but let me just check if they're a member. Do we have a DCF 808 in the building? We do. So that means we have one spot remaining. We have one single spot remaining in the Triton League draft. Now, here's what will happen. I am going to do one more team review. We'll do more tonight, by the way. But right now, I'll do one more team review. If by the end of that team review, nobody has claimed that last spot, then we will raffle off the last spot for one lucky winner. Okay? So that means if Young Liquid wants to become a member, or if anybody who's watching wants to become a member, there's a couple people who answered that they are members, but they're not actually members. So I'll give you guys basically 10 minutes is the way I would view it here to get signed up for that last spot for the draft that's happening tomorrow. All you have to do is become a promo code LAND annual Mother Flocker member. One of the many perks is that you will become a league member in a LAN league. But let's jump to another review here. Let me just double check. I want to make sure no one's got a priority or a pro pass. No. So we'll start with In the Bag, which let me know if In the Bag is in the stream. No, I'm not a dad, but I've got the dad jokes pretty much on lockdown, ladies and gentlemen. In the Bag, let me know if you're with us here. This team is currently ranked second. It is a Superflex start 10 with a 1.5 Titan premium. So that is our middle ground lineup. Let's see. And the site has you ranked 5th at quarterback, 10th at running back, and 12th at receiver, 11th at tight end. Yet you're somehow second. It's got to be the draft capital. It definitely is. All right. So you say startup rebuilder, 1 to 2 year build, tanking for Jeremiah Smith, plus early first rounders. What moves can I make with what I have to add young pieces without finishing better than last? maybe tear down with May. Want to retain top quarterback plus young pieces for or future capital. Would like to use 27 seconds to acquire young upside pieces. Okay. Well, you've got a decent core here, right? Your untouchables would be like Drake May and probably your 27 first. You wouldn't want to sell that as you're tanking. Players that we're holding here, almost everybody on this team is a hold, to be honest. Like Max Clare comes to mind. I would say at this point, Jordan James has a great chance to be relevant if there's an injury in San Francisco. Torrey Horton, Trey Harris, these are all players that I would be wanting to hold right now as kind of stashes, right? Players that I'd be willing to drop. There's plenty of them. Darius Cooper, I don't see any reason to be holding on to him. Devontae Walker. There are plenty of names that I would be willing to drop. Let's add on to that Devon Bailey, Jam Miller, Taj Brooks. But your waiver wire would need to have someone interesting to add. And there's not anyone that's interesting enough to kind of justify a drop. But honestly, I would drop Darius Cooper and Devontae Walker. Yeah, I mean, I would rather go pick up like Kevin Coleman, than those names. Cole Payton, Seth McGowan. So I do think that those guys are worth rostering over who you currently have rostered. Okay, so very clearly, with 5 firsts in 2027 and 2 firsts in 2028, we are in the midst of a full rebuild. But I don't want you to really rebuild for more than like 1 year with all those assets. I would really prefer to go out there and try and win a championship. As of right now, heavily because of your draft capital, that's why I'm going to give you this draft grade. Has nothing to do at all with this being a good team as of right now, right? But at the moment, I would probably give you a B+. And again, that's only because of the amount of draft capital that you've got in the future. You still need to turn that into a competitive roster, and that's not always a guarantee. So you're banking a lot on the 27 class. It does look like a good class, but there's still plenty of risk involved there. And I'll be honest with you, I'm not really sure, transparently, who in the world are we selling here? There's not a single sell candidate here. You can't sell Dalton Kincaid for anything worthwhile. I know you mentioned you wanted to send your 27 seconds away for players with upside. So we can look at that. But I'm not opposed to a May tear down. It's not where my mind initially goes with the team like this, because you do need some foundation with this team, and you've already got a ton of draft capital. So my mind doesn't instantly go to like tearing down off of like the one asset we know we can rely on. But let's think through that idea of sending 27 seconds away and trying to acquire, assets that are young, that are unproven, like Travis Hunter comes to mind. I'd be willing to send a 27 second and a 27 third. I mean, I'd be even willing to go as far as doing something like 2 27 seconds for Travis Hunter and a third or something. Travis Hunter, like when you asked to like buy young unproven assets, he instantly was the first name that came to mind for me. Now, at other positions, there's not really a quarterback that comes to mind for me. You could, if you're a Jonah Coleman guy, you could be looking at buying a Jonah Coleman. At the same time, you might as well, kind of hold on to Jonah Coleman. Or sorry, hold on to the second and keep flexibility for the future. I would be willing to send 1 second for Jonathan Brooks to kind of just get a share of him. At running back, it's hard to find those like unproven guys that are actually worth taking the risk on. This is where Matthew Golden could come into play, right? If again, like young upside guys who haven't proven themselves, Matthew Golden, Jaden Higgins, I don't even know if I would say like Ricky Pearsall, Parker Washington at this point, but they might be eligible there. Could also say like Xavier Worthy is probably in that range as well. Man, ranking Xavier Worthy in Dynasty right now is almost an impossible task. But yeah, I don't really see a reason for you to aggressively move off of like Drake May. I'll explore some options here in a second. Is it tight end premium or not? No, there's a tight end premium. So I would add on to that, like if you can go get from this class a Eli Stowers, I'd be willing to do that. Right, kind of bank on him long term. But I'm not going to do the older Fergusons or Kittles or anything like that. So Drake May, the only thing that makes sense is if you turn him into another young asset and grab some additional value in return. So I instantly want to know who's on the Jaden Daniels team. Problem is, if we do a tear down with this team, you're going to add points to your roster this year, which I don't think you want. Like us doing Daniels, Javonte is not going to help you tank this year. So it does need to be a team that has additional assets with draft capital. And I'm currently not seeing a team that would make sense to do this with. The Dart team. So I don't mind the idea of like Jackson Dart. Could you get 2 future firsts? Is that possible? Do you have to send, a 27-second back? Do you have to send 2 27 seconds? I'd be willing to make a move like that. But not many teams are going to be positioned to have the right piece back in return and to have enough capital for it to make sense. I would do I would do the same deal for Trevor Lawrence as well, by the way. So I'll just say that. Instead of Dart. But the Caleb and Jaden guy doesn't really have any picks. We're not going to do Dak Prescott in a full rebuild, but that's probably the direction I would take this team. I mean, you very clearly have decided the future of this team is going to be dependent on the 27 class. I think this will be a really fun team next offseason where we kind of decide how many picks we keep, how competitive do we get? Do we trade some of these picks for contending assets? I think finding a happy medium there is going to be a really fun venture like this time next year. But I appreciate you big time, my friend. You'll be getting your team playbook here within the next... I'll just be honest with you guys. Playbooks are going to be a little bit on backlog right now. We're going to get them to you as fast as we can. And the reason I'm saying that is because we're dropping a product tomorrow that we are very proud of, but it has taken a lot of additional, hours and effort. But I promise you, we will get we'll get those to you as soon as we possibly can. I appreciate y'all being patient with me. Okay, let's jump to our next review here from Rebbar70. Rebbar70, let me know if you are in the chat, my friend. It looks like this is a super flex. What are we looking at? Like a start 10? Start 10 looks right. Okay. Superflex start 10. Doesn't look like there's any Titan Premium. I only have one that says that he would like for us to draft for him tomorrow. I'll be happy to do that, yeah. Absolutely can make that work. Okay. And you're here. That's awesome, Randy. What's up, Randy? Welcome in, brother. Okay. Username is Redbar70. Our team name is Dart Vader. I'm gonna make a wild guess here that we have Jackson Dart. Our team rank is 5th. The site has us ranked 7th at quarterback, 4th at running back, 4th at receiver, and 6th at tight end. And no capital at all in the future. All the way up to 2028, we've completely gotten rid of our draft capital. Where I gotta ask, where's our capital gone though? How do we not have any draft capital on this team with Matthew Stafford at quarterback 2? I gotta be honest, I would have expected a more complete team when you don't own really any of your future. This is obviously a Windows open roster without any capital in the future at all. We do need to take advantage of this opportunity. But man, you are as limited as a team gets from a flexibility perspective, my friend. I mean, you've got to have... Stafford has got to keep playing. Our starting lineup is Dart, Stafford, Cook, Walker, Puka, Amon-Ra, Pitts. And then we are flexing Brown, McCaffrey, Pickens. You have little to no room for injury. I mean, Parker Washington is in your wide receiver room, but at running back, there's no answers outside those top guys. So you know, all the guys that are in your lineup are crucial to your lineup. And if injuries occur, it could be a really difficult time trying to replace them. I gotta be honest, I don't like the fact that we are so all in, but the team is still so average that's a little bit difficult for me to wrap my head around. I'm going to probably be somewhat harsh here and go C-. Your untouchables on this team are Puka Nacua and Amon-Ra St. Brown, and your receiver room is really good up top. It really is. Players that you need to hold, like you have got to hold like Kenneth Gainwell on a team like this. Jordan James, who could potentially be the handcuff to CMC. You need to hold Stephon Diggs and hope that he goes somewhere where he can really like scam some PPR value. And I would also hold probably Jake Ferguson at this point. Going to be hard to replace him for a better player. Plenty of names that you could drop if you wanted to. Ja'Day Walker comes to mind. Theo Weiss Jr. comes to mind. But you could drop so many names. You could drop Taj, Tyler Huntley, Demario Douglas. There's plenty of options. On the waiver wire, there is nothing at all. I mean, Cole Payton is probably the only name that I would say is worth kind of rostering there as maybe the handcuff in Philadelphia. But, man... Look, you guys come to me for transparency, right? That's why y'all come here. That's why you value the feedback I give, the reviews I give. You're in a sticky situation, my friend. I've said this a couple times this stream to other people, but I assume at least 2 of my starters aren't going to be available when I'm playing Dynasty. Now, I hope you get lucky and that no injuries occur. More times than not, at least 1 to 4 of your players are dealing with injuries. And if that happens to this team, you're in a really difficult position. So I'm not going to tell you right now that you have to make any particular move. But the only move that makes sense, considering we don't have any draft capital, we can't do 1-for-1s, is if you needed to, I'm going to say if you need, due to injury, then you can tear down from a Puka Nacua. So maybe we're more playing this as a, waiting till in season and seeing if it's something that we have to do. Because I would hate to take Puka Nacua off a team that is trying to go out and win a championship, right? I don't want to do that. At the same time, we have essentially no flexibility at all if an injury does occur. So we need to be prepared for that being a possibility, and how are we going to approach that if it does. So let's just come up with a game plan, and let's call it as like a in case of emergency type of game plan. So in case of emergency, we can move Puka Nacua, and in this world we want to get back. Man, I think I'd be asking back for like a Lad and an Achan, like Lad McConkey plus Devon Achan. Right? And that might be asking for too much. If it is, then maybe you do the Jonathan Taylor instead of that. I think Jonathan Taylor feels a little bit more realistic than Achan, but obviously I prefer Achan there. I got a trade offer. I just want to quickly check in one of my leagues and make sure I'm not leaving anything on the table here. No. Okay. Let's keep looking, though. And I'm not saying that you need to make any of these moves right now. Of course, you can if you like any of the deals enough. But you need to be prepared for the possibility that you have to kind of navigate your roster this way. And there's some really strong teams up top. These guys have probably manipulated a lot of trades and gotten really, like, some ridiculous rosters here. But another one, Drake London plus Breece Hall, makes a lot of sense to me. If you needed to tear down from Puka. I wouldn't do, like, Olave Scat. You're obviously not going to get Jahmyr Gibbs. But those teams up top have a lot of options for you to trade with. They've also got a tight end, so we could do like a Garrett Wilson plus Breece Hall plus Harold Fannin. That's probably the most that you could kind of stretch it out to. If you had to. I mean, Kraft is available. You could interchange Kraft there. Those guys have built some insane teams. But as we move down, people are going to be less and less able to be flexible, right? So I don't mind like a CeeDee Lamb. Like I would actually do this right now if it was possible. Like CeeDee Lamb plus Travis Etienne, right? It's hard to make that trade, but I think that gives you a lot more flexibility. And I would prefer that we actually get back Javonte Williams. Javonte Williams by far would be my preference, but I would take either of them. And I don't mind doing something like CeeDee Lamb plus like Jameson Williams either, if you need the depth. But again, these are all in case of emergency type of moves. I'm not sure there's going to be any other team here that... No, none of these other teams have any of the assets we need. Man, I got to be honest with you, Randy, there is a huge imbalance in your league here. Please let me know if you have any other questions. I want to make sure I'm as helpful as possible. But there's a massive imbalance, man. Like, the weak teams are really bad. Like, there is like 4 teams that are truly awful. And I figured none of them, they wouldn't have their own picks. Some of them don't have their own picks. Again, that just shows me that there's people in this league who have played Dynasty and know what they're doing, and they're taking advantage of those who haven't. I'm not saying they're playing the game wrong. I think we all would do that. But, yeah, it's a little bit of a... it's difficult to make moves in a league like this because the top guys don't really need your help. The bottom guys can't really offer you any help. But I hope this isn't too discouraging. I'm giving you my grade based off the flexibility is a big part of that. You need Matthew Stafford all the way through 2028, really. I don't think he's going to play that long. I don't know how long. Christian McCaffrey is 30. So there's a lot that could happen here where you might regret not having your own picks. But as of right now, this is how I would play it. I would go into the season as is and have these as backup options. Honestly, I would do any of the CeeDee Lamb deals. And I would do the Breece Hall, Fannin, Garrett Wilson deal. But I would do these now to kind of give yourself flexibility if they're available. But let me know if you have any final questions here before I move on to our next review. I'm sorry I wasn't like more positive. I just think honesty is important. And honestly, what in the world is going on with this team? How does this team not have any of their future picks? Yet somehow they have Josh Allen on their team. This is one of the worst teams I've ever seen. Who has this guy's pick? Yeah, Team 3. So Team 3 knows he's about to add Jeremiah Smith. Wow. Wild. Let me know if you have any final questions, Randy. I hope that was helpful. I hope I wasn't too harsh or anything. I'm not trying to be harsh at all. He says, I'm going to wait for a Puka trade. I think that's totally fine. You can take your time there, my friend. Crash Out Cello. What's up, Crash Out Cello? Let me know if you are in the chat with us. Let me know if you are in the building. As I'm sorry, guys. I know my camera keeps... stopping there. But Crash Out Cello in the building. Okay, we got a team name here, and our team name is the Dark Knight Rises. We are currently ranked 9th in this format. We are a 1 quarterback start 9 league, so pretty decent depth there to consider in a 1 quarterback format. You are at quarterback 6th, at running back 10th, 11th at wide receiver, and 8th at tight end. Okay. He says in 2028, I have 2 firsts, 1 is mine, and a 2nd, and a 3rd, and 2 fourths. I'm in a pretty tough rebuild and need some direction. Let me know if you're in the chat with me, my friend. Let me know if you are here with me. Let me just quickly refresh my page. Sorry. Okay, so very clearly a rebuild. Are we still live? Are we still live, guys? Sorry. Just want to make sure we're still live. I think we're still live, right? Can someone just say like, hey, yeah, we're here. We're good to go. Okay. This is a toughie. Okay, we're live. Okay, great. We're live. Okay, yes. Thank you, guys. Technology. Okay. So in a rebuild, clearly need some help. We really don't have any untouchables. I would say your untouchables are your 27 first round pick and your 28 first round pick. Wouldn't be moving those on a team like this. Players that you should be holding, there's a lot that I like here. Luther Burden obviously is a big hold. Jalen McMillan, I still, through the thick and thin of everybody having different opinions, y'all know I'm still a Jalen McMillan guy. Jack Besh, and let's say Gunnar Helm. These are all fine holds. Is there any tight end premium? Let me remind myself. In this format, we have no tight end premium. Players that you can drop. Devin Singletary. Devin Singletary is droppable for sure. Kendre Miller, droppable for sure. In a 1 quarterback, at this point, you could drop Anthony Richardson if you wanted to. Cooper Kupp. On the waiver wire. I mean, I'd rather have Malik Willis than Anthony Richardson. I don't know if that's crazy to say or a hot take or not, but I would say Malik Willis I'd pick up over him. You can drop Singletary and Kendrick Miller and keep Richardson if you want. There was another name here that I liked. And I think in your case, Treylon Burks, worth rostering just to see, is there a chance that he kind of takes another step with Washington? He showed some fun flashes last year. Probably going to be a guy that you drop, probably a roster clogger. Now, I like to typically tell people I don't want to, tank for more than 1 year. But I would probably say this is a full rebuild if I've ever seen one. Right now, you are starting Dart, Brown, JCM, Burden, McMillan, Laporta, and then you still need to flex 3 more names, which, dude, I don't even like your starting lineup. So this is a bad team. It's a bad team currently constructed. I like that you have 2 firsts next year, 2 firsts in 2028. But I think you're going to need more assets here to really pull this thing through. I'm going to give you, as of right now, a C+. Not that I don't like the picks or the players that you've got. It's just, it's a 1 quarterback league, not a super flex. And there's a lot that needs to go right with these draft picks for you to really get out of this hole. And then the question becomes, who do you sell? Well, my friend, I don't see a reason not to explore a Chase Brown trade. Maybe we can explore Brock Purdy trade as well. I'd be curious if there's a quarterback needy team out there. Sam Laporta maybe, but you don't have many obvious sells. Outside of Chase Brown, really, there's not an obvious sell. Let's see if there's a team that might make sense. We need to find a team missing running back that has capital. Okay. That guy's not a contender right now. Well, first off, I've seen Chase Brown go for so many different prices. Okay, I've seen him valued as high as like the 102, 103, and as low as the 107, 108. So I will just say, if you can get somewhere between that 103, that 104, that 105, let's not do that far down in a 1 quarterback format. Then I'm gonna say it's worth at least exploring. Do I expect to get that value in my league? No, but I think it's worth exploring in yours. Now, I like the idea of like a Scattaboo or Tootin kind of tear down. Can we go from Chase Brown to Cam Scattaboo plus a 27 first, and we'll give back something to kind of get there. That guy needs tight end, so like I would be willing to give them Sam Laporta here. And then maybe we ask back for a 27 second as well. See how far you can kind of stretch that. He also has Travion Henderson. So that's another name that we could do that type of deal with. Does he also have Bashul Tootin, I thought? Yes. He has Bashul Tootin. I think if I was to be selling Chase Brown for Bashul Tootin, I'd probably structure it where I get Bashul Tootin and the 27 first, and I'll probably send you like a third or something equivalent in value. Now, you could also sell Chase Brown if we want to make this really easy for like a mid future first. Here's a problem with selling him. If he signs a contract with the Bengals, he'll be more valuable next year. And if he doesn't, and you didn't sell him, you'll be kicking yourself. He also will contribute to points on your roster, which as a tanker, I don't think you would really want that to occur. So a little bit of a catch-22. Hard to kind of win there. Okay, what the hell is this team? What am I looking at, dude? He has no quarterback, no future picks that are his own. That might go down as the new worst team I've ever seen. What are we looking at some of these leagues? Good Lord, y'all. I also don't mind the idea of like selling Chase Brown for like a Brian Thomas plus the 111, right? Which is really just a second value at that point, but trying to kind of bank on those names. Now, does anybody need quarterback? How about this guy? This guy has nobody at all. Problem is, I don't think you're going to get Brock Purdy. We'll take any future first for him from any team. Same for Sam Laporta. But I don't think that that guy's going to be able to give you a first. Is there any other quarterback needy teams? Fortunately, probably not. Yeah, I don't think anybody's going to be too quarterback needy right now. And then if you can sell Laporta, I would try and sell him for a first. Any team that doesn't have a tight end that needs one should be interested. And if you had to like package Laporta and Kenneth Gainwell, or Laporta and Daniel Jones, to get that done, then I'd be willing to do that. But Laporta might be someone that's easier to trade in season when he starts putting up points and people need help at tight end. But in summation, sell Chase Brown for good value now if you can't hold and do it in season. And I would actually say that it's probably best to hold Chase Brown until in season, because that's when running backs are the most valued. So you might want to hold him until the season begins. Because right now he might not be maximizing value in a return. It's a little bit of a waiting game with this one. Not the best place to be, but next year if you can build that core around Dart, Burden, Laporta, unless you sell Laporta, and then those two future firsts. And the last thing we'll do here, which I forgot to do, is we'll jump into your war room for this draft, because there are some moves that we can make here in this draft. So let's just quickly jump into that war room. At the 104, it's not a super flex league. It's a one quarterback league. So I would be down for adding a Lemon to the squad, a Price to the squad, or a Tyson. I'd prefer Tyson. Then it would be a toss-up between Lemon and Price. At the 203, 204, I like names like Antonio Williams. Chris Bell is a fun name there as well. But it really is like get your guy type of situation in this draft. Wouldn't sell the 104 unless you can move down one spot to the 105. You can't move any further than that. And if you did, what could we ask for back in return? I'd be willing to do that for like a Ricky Pearsall, right? Ricky Pearsall in return would be enough for me to pull the trigger there. Whoever spells Ricky like that, like what are we doing? And then if you can trade any of these late 4 seconds for future picks, I think that would be very beneficial as you kind of push the picks back to one more year. But I'm going to go ahead and post this into the Discord, my friend. So if you aren't aware, you can find this easily by going to our Discord under the LAN tab and then the War Room tab. That's where you'll find your War Room. Okay? But thanks for letting me look at the squad. I definitely think you're in a tough spot, but it's a spot that is something that you can come out of with time and making the right moves and making the right picks. Appreciate you, my friend. Okay. We've got who here who's waiting on a review is in the stream with me. From CM Guadrone, Chief Keith, Casey, and Brodlum. Which of you guys are in the stream with me today, let me know. And I think what we'll do is we're going to go ahead and raffle off the final spot for Triton. So we have 11 out of 12 spots full. Commissioner Joel will reach out to all those people who have officially entered, and I will raffle off the final remaining spot now. We have one spot only up for grabs. So let me go ahead and raffle off that final spot here on stream for you guys. One spot remaining, and the final spot goes to Styles. So shout out to Styles. But the Triton League is going to be drafting tomorrow night. If you didn't get into this league, we'll have a brand new league available for you guys tomorrow on the landleagues.com website. So make sure you stay tuned. But I'm just going to go ahead and let our commissioners know all spots have been raffled for Triton. But yeah, every Monday, we won't do it throughout the entire year, obviously, but we've got a startup draft for you guys. Soon we'll be doing best ball drafts too. Okay. Okay, so we have Casey Bulias, Brodium, and he says, rhymes with tortillas. Kevin Kubias. Okay, Kevin K. Kubias. Is that right? I'm saying that right? K. Kubias, like tortillas. I think I'm saying that right. Okay. Well, because we've got you two here in the chat, let me go to you guys. And then if Chief Keith or CM are not here, I'll hold yours till tomorrow. Because I'll be streaming tomorrow. I'll be streaming 3 days in a row this week, guys. So let's go to KC first. What I'm so curious, what league or what app is this on? Casey, I'd be curious to know what app this is on, my friend. Obviously, I'll be a little bit limited here because I won't have access to everybody else's team. He says Flea Flicker. Okay. Flea Flicker, which is not your choice. That's fair. Let me just double check one thing before I jump in here. Can you give me your Flea Flicker ID? Apparently, Flea Flicker has a league ID. And while we don't have public access to it on the Flock site, it looks like KTC does. So that's actually going to help me tremendously. Okay, perfect. So that's great. I'll be able to actually look at some of your league here. Okay. In fact, I might as well just look at the KTC site for the entire review. He says I have the 109, 209 in 2026, all my picks in 2027. So we have 2 picks in 2029. Let's set up that war room. And those are the only picks that you have, I assume. Okay, only 2 picks that you've got. Okay. Wondering if I should try to move neighbors and how. Would also love to get an extra 27 first to use later if I need to buy production later in the season. Okay, let's have a look. So we know we have Drake May and Malik Neighbors. I haven't used the KTC site. I mean, maybe since 2023, 2024, like in a review. What's your team name over here? Sorry. Mental Edge. Is that right? Mental Edge. Okay, so you're ranked first. Let me know if I'm looking at the right team. So the site doesn't show your 26 picks. Have you already done the draft yet, or is it still upcoming? Obviously, you know, Josh Allen instantly comes to mind as an untouchable. Jahmyr Gibbs. I would add Puka Nacua, Malik Neighbors. You've got a really high quality top 5 there. Players that I want to hold on this team. For me, Roma Dunze, I feel like people are just ruling him out as being possibly a really valuable asset because we all love Luther Burden. I think that's the wrong way to view that backfield. I I like Odunze. I like Monongai as hold. I like Parker Washington as a hold as well. He's a good player, and I like Jalen Coker. These are all really solid holds. You can drop Phil Maffa if you need to. I also don't mind dropping like Isaac Harindo, Raheem Sanders. There's a lot of names on that bench that I'd be willing to drop. One thing I won't have access to is your waiver wire, just so you know, because KTC doesn't have access to waiver wires. Okay, but again, thinking about this team, we are starting. What's the format here? It's a 1 quarterback start 9, right? 1 quarterback start 9 with a tight end premium. How big is a premium? Oh, okay, the picture there, just in weird order. Okay. Okay. I'm going to rank your positions. Normally the Flock site does that automatically. I'd rank your quarterbacks. That's pretty good. Josh Allen and Kyler Murray. Probably rank you top 3 there. Running back. Got to give Gibbs some love. Let's go 4 because the depth is a little bad. Wide receivers are insane. I'm going to give you like 1 on wide receivers. Okay. We have our first in 27 and 26 is a 0.5 tight end premium. Oh, so it is a super flex. Okay. It's 12 team super flex. Okay, let me get that right for you. 12 team super flex. Our lineup would be Allen, Murray, Gibbs, Scat, Puka, Neighbors, Pitts, Lamb, Odunze, Marvin. On our bench, Parker Washington, Jalen Coker, Monongai, Pollard. And we've got that 109. I mean, you're very clearly a strong contender here. So I'm going to say we need to do everything we can to go out there and just, let's win a championship. We got a good enough team here. Let's try and win a championship, right? Overall team grade as of today, with all your picks in the future. Yeah, the way they showcase picks here is so weird. But it looks like you have all of your own picks. So I feel like this is like very much A-, B+. It's a good team. I think I'm going to give you B+ just because the running back depth as well as quarterback 3 and tight end make me think I can't give you quite an A, but the names at the top are really, really nice names. Let's come up with a game plan here for that rookie draft. I need to just bite the bullet and stop buying Amazon card readers for my camera. Okay, if you were to stick and pick at the 109, then in a super flex league, you're either looking at a Ty Simpson, a Sadiq. I doubt Concepcion is there. And then the last name is typically Omar Cooper. He's typically the last name there. Beyond the 209, it really is like get your guy territory. You have my rankings on the Flock site, so you know exactly who I would take at every pick. I would rather send that 109 for a running back, right? I'd rather go get a running back that I like. And maybe you can even attach the 209 to some of these offers. We can get more specific in a second, but I think of a Bashul 2 in here. I would take the shot there. I think of, you already got Scattaboo. I like Scattaboo here a lot. How about Javonte? He's valued so differently in every league. But Javonte Williams comes to mind. Josh Jacobs is so interesting because I don't think I'd send the 109 for him anymore, but I do want to buy him. I'll tell you what, another fun name to take a shot on here. Well, I'll add 2 more. So Travis Etienne. And how about Bucky? I bet there are plenty of leagues out there where you could go get Bucky Irving for this price now. With the 209 use and trade packages, right? If you need to tack it on. KC says Jacobs for 109 and Pollard. Wait, what are you about to buy, Mike? What do you mean? I don't know what you mean by that. I think that's too expensive for Jacobs. Right now, he's a very risky asset. I'm not even sure if I would send the 109 straight up for Jacobs right now. So I definitely would include Pollard and the 109. I think any Jacobs owner right now would be happy to take that and just remove any risk from themselves owning that pick moving forward, or owning that player moving forward. But I would be much more comfortable if you're going to go that direction, like Saquon Barkley. Even if someone's willing to sell you like a CMC at that price. Now, I know you mentioned like wanting to sell Neighbors. I don't think you need to. I think you just need like one more depth piece here. And ideally it's a running back. I wouldn't really be selling Neighbors. I'm worried about Neighbors in redraft. I'm not worried about Neighbors in Dynasty. I think he's a strong hold. But even if you tack on that 109 and a second, like a future second, if people are not attracted to the 209, let's see, is there any teams that are very clearly rebuilding? Oh, I appreciate that, Mike. Yeah, maybe I need to just buy a brand new cord and reader. It's just the Amazon ones are so cheap. I think Amazon is like $11. And then the other ones are like $400. I'm like, gosh. Okay. I would love to add like a Breece Hall. I just think that he might be too expensive here. I don't mind even adding like a DeAndre Swift. Like if you go 209 plus a future second, that's probably the most I would pay for DeAndre. I wouldn't pay 2 future seconds, but I'd be willing to do something like that where it includes a pick from this class. I think you could go for a Derrick Henry. If you did that same type of deal, I would probably be willing to send 2 future seconds for Derrick Henry. Let's see. Anybody have like a big... Ooh, I like Chuba Hubbard. I like a single future second for Chuba Hubbard. I think that could make a lot of sense. In season, I wouldn't be opposed to using that first that you've got to go all in. But right now, I think you've got enough depth where you don't really have to kind of force yourself to use that pick. But for Josh Jacobs, I mean, can we get Jacobs for this Henry and Swift price? Josh Jacobs, that's when it would make sense for me to go out and buy him. I mean, I would even be willing to just do, like 2 future seconds instead of the 209 if they don't want. Jalen Warren's kind of on the edge. Montgomery isn't a terrible kind of Band-Aid option there. But yeah, man, it's a good team. Please let me know if you have any additional questions here. My main goal for you is turning that 109 into a running back or turning your seconds into a running back. I don't really think the 109 is going to be all that impactful on this team. You are in a tight end premium, so I guess like Sadiq. But the thing is, the 107 and the 8. So the 7 and the 8 is probably going to be Concepcion Sadiq, and then you're going to probably grab, I imagine, Ty Simpson with your quarterback room. But let me know if you have any questions. If there's anything that I didn't answer, I'd be happy to sit here and make sure I get you feeling good. Well, that sounds weird, but make sure you're satisfied. Okay, that sounds weird. 2, just make sure you feel great about the review. All right. No worries. I appreciate you for letting me have a look. Papa Dunk says, why are most so high on Scatterboo and Neighbors yet avoid Christian Watson because his struggle to stay healthy? I'm not avoiding Watson for that reason, personally. I'm avoiding Watson because he's shown no consistency. And I don't believe he's shown the upside of those 2 names, right? Like, I think Watson is best case scenario Jamison Williams. Whereas, like, Scatterboo, best case scenario is, like, a top 10 running back in fantasy. So, I don't know. If there are people who are using injury as a reason to be out on Watson, I would also kind of disagree with them. Casey, thanks for letting me review the squad. That was a lot better, honestly. Like, I wasn't sure how it was going to go with Flea Flicker. But knowing that we have KTC there is a good backup for us. Okay, so this is probably going to be the last review of the day. I know that Brodlum is in the chat with me. So Brodlum, let me know if you're still here, still watching. And then Chief Keef and CM, we will hold till tomorrow's stream. But don't worry, I'm streaming 3 days in a row this week, gang. So I will make sure and help you out. Olam and Friends, you are currently ranked 5th in this league. And this league is a Superflex Start 10, which is definitely our most common format. Okay. The site has you 5th at quarterback, 7th at running back, 11th at receiver, and 8th at tight end. He says, don't really know what to do with my squad. First Dynasty League alongside everyone else. Advice on where to go. Okay, so it's a brand new Dynasty League for everybody. I don't know, Brodlum. Are you sure it's a brand new Dynasty League for everybody? Because this guy seems like he knows what he's doing and he's taking advantage of the rest of you. Respectfully. I'm not trying to be disrespectful. But I'm going to go ahead and take a shot in the dark and say this guy has played Dynasty before at the top. I just get the feeling he knows what he's doing there. That's a ridiculous squad. And everybody else's squads don't really compare in comparison. Okay. Untouchables on this team. Drake May. These are guys that you're going to want to build around. Drake May is the only untouchable if I'm going to be 100% honest with you. He says, I swear they're all new, basically, but there are some low IQ individuals. Okay, so everybody's new, but some people are really not good at this, is what you're saying. Players that we're holding on a team like this. Look, first off, I'm noticing you don't have your first in 2027. That's instantly going to tell me that I'm going to try and compete with this team, which means windows open. You know, we want to compete. We want to win without our first because someone else is going to benefit if we don't. Players that we're holding on a team like this. Honestly, it sounds weird, but Tua Tagovailoa, you kind of have to hold and hope that he wins that job because you do not have a quarterback 3. Derrick Henry, a name that you have to hold. You know, you don't have the luxury of selling Derrick Henry right now when you don't have your first, right? He needs to be a crucial part of your offense. Same with these veterans here, like, you know, Michael Pittman and Mike Evans. These guys, we're not selling them. They're not worth selling. They're more valuable. Their production's more valuable to your team than they are in the trade market. Players that you could drop if you wanted to. Anthony Richardson, if you want to clear space. Or maybe you try and sell him for a 4th. You don't have a lot of drops here, man, to be honest with you. There's not a lot of names I'm actively dropping. I mean, is there anybody on the waiver wire even for us to pick up? Oh, Drew Aller. Yeah, okay. I'm rostering Drew Aller over Anthony Richardson personally. But you can't drop A-Rich. Honestly, you might... I think you got to drop James Conner here. Maybe... You got some tough decisions to make here, dude. Well, look, I will say Drew Aller being on the waiver wire is surprising. I like Adam Randall as a pickup. I like Kyle Williams, Keenan Allen, Terrence Ferguson. Your waiver wire is very alive. It's just you got some really difficult decisions to make. I like that about your league, though. Okay, so right now we will be starting May, Baker, Cook, Barkley, Moore, Evans, Kittle, and then we would flex Henry, Watson, Pittman, and then wait on Concepcion to develop. Hopefully Worthy gives you something, or Coleman. I don't think I'm going to be relying on Gadsden right now, but, you know, he's obviously on your team as well. So who are those first from that you own? It's from Beterius and Nick. Beterius and Nick. Oh, okay. 2 teams at the bottom. Okay, while these 2 teams are at the bottom, they're actually not terrible. I could see either of these teams making the playoffs. Yeah. But I wouldn't be opposed to selling one of those picks. And I probably would be trying to aim for a receiver right now. Anyway, overall team grade as of today. It's not the best team I've ever seen. I'll be honest with you. It's not the best team I've ever seen. I think this is very much like a C flat. Okay. I think this is C flat. You know, receiver room is not the strongest. Tight end room, we have some questions around injury or production with Gadsden. So, if we sent to 27 first away, I'd be trying to improve that receiver room. And maybe we can attach like Xavier Worthy onto this trade. And because of the Rice situation, try and take advantage of his value, which is starting to rise in Dynasty. Not because he's done anything on the field, but because Rice has done something off the field. So, can we go get... Oof. Not going to get Drake London. I don't hate Rice. Rashee Rice. But I wonder... I'm just trying to think out loud here. Like, could we add... Ooh, I would like this deal if we could add Jonathan Brooks. That would be a fun deal there. Alternatively, can you ask back for like a second? I wonder what they would say about that. If they're out on Rice, then they would probably be interested. Okay, so again, Worthy in the first. Well, first off, I think in a lot of leagues you can actually just send one first for like Garrett Wilson. You can send it for Nico Collins, which these are all players that I might be trying to sell if I wasn't in a complete Windows open mindset, but we need the production now. I mean, you could probably get Rashee Rice for one first as well. He's risky, obviously, with what his future looks like. Brian Thomas. Can you go send a 27 second and get Parker Washington? Yeah, I like some of those moves. Obviously, reliable here for just guaranteed production. He's not going to always stay healthy, but T. Higgins, when he's on the field, he's going to put up numbers for you. You could go as low as like the A.J. Browns, Devonta Smiths, but you could use one more piece there. Yeah, I'm just realizing that like tacking on Xavier Worthy to a first is probably not going to put you in a higher range. Like, I don't imagine because you do that you can get Chris Olave, but I guess I'll write it down. Again, I don't imagine because you've done that you could grab, George Pickens. I don't think he actually really moves the needle for anybody, unfortunately. But you could certainly add one more name there to entice people. Keep one of those first for in season for flexibility. Try and grab one more, player now in the offseason. But you could just completely leave this team as is, go into the season, and you're very heavily reliant on these vets, right? Saquon, Henry, Moore, Evans, Pittman, Kittle. So there is a world out there where all these vets do not regress, and they're still the same level of players we've expected from them in the past. You're making the playoffs. There's no doubt about that. There's also a world where all these guys regress, or 50% of them regress, right? And, Henry is no longer a 17-point per game scorer, but he's giving you 11. It's like, okay. Kittle, no longer a 15-point per game scorer. He's giving you 10, 11, right? Evans is only giving you 12. So there's a chance it could go either way. You want to keep one of those picks for flexibility. You can shop one of them right now to feel better about going into the season, but without a doubt, you are contending with this roster. It's not a bad roster. You'll make the playoffs, and then anything can happen in the playoffs. But do I think you're like a favorite in the team, in the league? Probably wouldn't call you a favorite. You look at this team up at the top. He's probably the favorite there. But let me know if I didn't answer anything or if you have any questions that I didn't address. Broadlam, I'll be happy to help you out here. But guys, that is probably going to be it for today. I will be live tomorrow, so if I didn't get to your review today, I will do it tomorrow. I 100% promise. Couple things to note. Number one, tomorrow is a pretty big day. Okay, it's a huge day actually. On the Flock Fantasy site, I will be releasing a brand new product, which will be crucial to your fantasy season from now until September begins. Okay, so make sure you are checking the Flock Fantasy site. If you haven't followed me on X, go and follow me on X. And I will be releasing more content on the Fantasyland Football channel tomorrow. If you're not aware, that is a channel where I release redraft content. So make sure you go subscribe over there as well. But yeah, that's going to be it for today. And then on landleagues.com, we will have a new league up for you guys tomorrow. Right now, we filled out the Triton League, and we'll be drafting a real league tomorrow as well. So that's it for today. Appreciate y'all so much. Thanks for hanging out with me, and see y'all soon. Enjoy the rest of your day. Love.